over for the touchdown. Waited, plenty of blocking for the Dogs.
Boy, I tell you what a play by the Drake Bulldogs that time. Ben Wolford was able to hang in that pocket, got great protection from his offensive line, and then we get the reception there by number 83, Chad Westberg. Super play by the Bulldogs.
So the Bulldogs waste no time as they get on the scoreboard with 10:01 to go in the first quarter.
That drive was 10 plays, 64 yards.
64-yard, 10-play drive by the Bulldogs to open up this football game. Extra point attempt upcoming. It is up, and it is good. 7-0, Drake Bulldogs lead.
Mick, this is just an outstanding start for the Bulldogs. What do you think about Aurora? They come into town last week. They played a perennial AAA, one AA team and got beat. This week they come into Drake. They've got to try to be successful, and Drake goes, look at the pass play. Plenty of protection, runs a drag across the middle, and he's wide open. Chad Westberg, 6'3", 195-pound sophomore.
Got plenty of people out there as you take a look here at Richard Hoskins, who was holding on the extra point attempt here, and the Bulldogs with a 10-play, and they score and make it 7-0. And if you, as you mentioned, your Aurora, after that's they've lost 4 straight dating back to last year. You got to be questioning mark yourself. Let's see how much they can come back now.
Well, Rob Ash talked a lot about this with his team this whole week. We had to get out fast. Secondly, look at Ben Wolford. You've got a new starting quarterback who is very successful, completes 2 passes, very nice passes, a touchdown pass, good running, offensive line dominance, great start for the Bulldogs.
Getting ready to kick it off here. Back deep for Aurora will be number 42, Ryan Walsh.
Ryan's their do-everything guy. As I said, he's probably an All-American candidate in Division III ball. He is one of these guys that Drake tried to recruit quite heavily, and we're aced out as his dad is on the staff of the Aurora Spartans.
Michael McKee will be doing the kicking off here for the Bulldogs, going a little bit into the wind here. A 10-mile-per-hour wind. Far side going to be fielded at the 15-yard line, brought to the near side here by Kevin Young, and he gets up across the 30 to the 31, and that's where we're going to see the Aurora offense for the first time of the afternoon, with Drake winning 7-0 with 9:56 to go in the first quarter.
As we watch the Drake defense, keep in mind the success the defense has had. They've played some outstanding competition this fall. Today's an important day for them for a couple of reasons. They need to get the offense started. They need to get Ben Wolford some comfort level. Let's see if we can get a big play out of the defense.
Well, the Aurora offense will be starting quarterback will be Mark Hancock. They use a couple of quarterbacks, however. Option play to the left side, trying to get there, can't get there, and Matt Garvis comes in to throw him for a 2-yard line.
Mick, that is Matt Garvis's 300th tackle as a Drake Bulldog. First play of the game, he sets the tone for the game, and the Bulldogs get off to an outstanding start.
Matt Garvis is just unbelievable. Ranks well in the course in tackle, second in the Pioneer Football League with 35 tackles this year, and I'll tell you what, just an outstanding ball player. You'll see him all afternoon. Second down and a long 11 now for Aurora as they put a man in motion. Now back to pass on second down. He's going to scramble. Quarterback draw, gets up to the 34. Garvis had a handle on it. Lost him, however, and he gets a couple more as Kerman Mason finally brings him down for Drake, but that's going to give him back to the line of scrimmage and a few more as he gets up across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Mark Hancock, number 9. Let's watch the replay here. See if we can see how this play was defended by the Bulldogs. Mark Hancock, number 9 for Aurora, is their option quarterback. Their number 11, Brody Wolf, is their passing quarterback. They will switch all the time. So let's watch and see if we can pick up tendencies for the Aurora Spartans.
This is the sixth meeting between the two schools. Drake currently leading in the series 4-1. And in motion again on third down. Option right side, looking to turn it up. Gets away from a couple. Not to be as he gets up close to the 40-yard line. Going to bring up fourth down and a couple in a punting situation here for Aurora.
Well, the Bulldogs have really done a good job defensing the option. They are prepared for that today, especially when the Mark Hancock, the quarterback, is in there. We will see option all day long as the Spartans are in this game.
Getting ready to boot it away. Back deep here for the Bulldogs, standing at his own 28-yard line. It's going to be Rico Chapman. I was looking to see if it was Hellier or Chapman. It'll be Chapman here. High punt, good boot, goes far side. Going to field, nope, going to let it go. And that one's going to get inside the 10. Boy, I'll tell you what, they're going to field it at about the 4-yard line. A good boot by Aurora is going to put Drake offensive unit way deep back at about their 4-yard line. I'll tell you what, that wind at 15 miles per hour caused that one to bounce a few yards. Probably should have tried to fair catch
Well,
it, but he was up too far.
43-yard punt. And there's a golden rule. The coaching staff will talk to Rico. When you're on the, you position yourself on the 10-yard line. Anything in front of the 10-yard line, you have to catch to avoid just what happened.
So now they're going to be working from their own 4-yard line. Last time the Bulldogs had the ball, 10 plays, 60-some yards, got a touchdown. Drake leads 7-zip. Bulldogs, handoff, left side. Charlie spins, gets up across the 5, maybe to the 7.
That punt by Ryan Ridgely went 56 yards.
56-yard punt by Ryan Ridgely, the sophomore for Aurora.
That shows you my math ability right there. I had it at 43. We weren't even close.
Give him a gain of what, 4? Going to bring up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, you get 4 yards on a play like that, not anything fancy. I think what we hope to see today, and I'm talking to the offensive coaches for Drake, is a little more dominance from the offensive line, letting them start to control this line of scrimmage. They would love to run the ball a lot today.
Rico Chapman back in after letting the punt go back into the tailback slot. Handoff, Rico looking to, oh man, he found the gap there, didn't he? Got a couple, 2, 3, and gets up across the 10 to the 13-yard line. But going to be shy of that first down by a couple of yards. But Drake getting it out of that dangerous territory anyway.
Mick, all those offensive linemen in the crowd love a good offensive guard pulling. That time, Felix Gallagher, 6'5", 306, a junior, pulled on that play and just buried the defensive end for Aurora. Great play by our offensive lineman.
Charlie Schimberg back into the fullback slot. Man split right and left. 3rd down and short. Let's see if they go to Charlie. Going to hand him off left side off tackle, but they found success so far today, and that ought to be a first down to the 15-yard line.
Not anything fancy right there. They continue to run into the short side of the field. Charlie is a plow horse. Even though he's only 210 pounds, he can get the hard yards for you.
Some of the fans on hand. Parents' Day here at Drake Stadium. Kids trying to talk the parents out of a little more cash, of course, for the week.
It's been 6 weeks in school, Mom. I need more money.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. And they have looked impressive offensively so far, Rob.
They really have. A great play by your offensive line so far.
Rico Chapman back into the lineup, back there along with Charlie in there as well. 1st down, long count of the line of scrimmage. Going to hand off. Rico, boy, he picks his way well. Oh, man. Got nailed as he got about a yard or so and met up there by Kevin Watson.
5'11", 220. Every linebacker Aurora has is around 220. They love to blitz. That time, big hit by Kevin Watson.
Indeed it was. Robert Berkeley back into the Bulldog lineup. He'll replace Pete Lobi.
Mick, let's watch Rob Ash here and see how long he can keep from throwing it downfield deep. He gets a little edgy about this time in the game. It's about the 20th play. He wants to test this defensive backfield out.
And they got man coverage on the sides, going back to pass. 2nd down, looking, little hook pattern to the 1st down to the 30-yard line. Little hook, setting it up maybe to go long as he finds some success out there to Richard Hoskins, who averages 12.5 yards per reception, and this time another 12, 13 yards for the 1st down.
You know, Richard Hoskins is a veteran of this team. He's a senior. We lost some wideouts last year, but that time we really had an opportunity to watch this. Let's see if we can catch a replay. Very quickly, back in the pocket. Now, Richard Hoskins outside of our screen one-on-one had been able to do the curl pattern and 1st down.
1st down, handoff up the middle. Big Charlie got some running room, and he bowls his way close to the 1st down. 39, close to the 39.5-yard line. And I think he got the 1st down here for the Bulldogs. Man, oh man. And Charlie just lowered his head for the last 2 or 3.
You know, that's where Charlie is really able to be a real positive value for the Bulldogs. The trap play up the middle, one of Rob Ash's favorite plays. You see it run it all the time. That time it worked to perfection.
1st and 10 up to the 39.5-yard line. Bulldogs on the move. This one, remember, started from their own 4-yard line. First drive produced a touchdown. They're on their 2nd drive of the football. Long count of the line of scrimmage. Might have had him off. Flags out. It's going to be a penalty on Aurora. Now scrambling. In trouble. Throws it at the last second and tries to escape. But it's going to be, I think, probably a 5-yard penalty against Aurora, Rob.
I think we had offsides right there. You had good pass rush by the Aurora Spartans. You had number 52 in there. Number 58, Jeff Rupert, a 6'1", 250-pound senior, putting pressure on. Now that's a little bit of inexperience on the quarterback. Let's watch this again. Ben Wolford back on the pass. Good coverage by Aurora. Offsides against Aurora. Now you can see the offside by the inside defensive tackle. Good snap by Ben Wolford. Good protection. He had plenty of time to throw, but at that point, he started to get outside of the pocket, and that's when he got into trouble.
1st and 5 now as they move it up to the 44.5-yard line. The 5-yard penalty for the offsides will go to the full eye now for the Bulldogs. 1st down. Wolford to the QB. And Rico near side running room. Ooh! Gets close to the 1st down as he gets close to midfield. And we'll see if it brings up 2nd down or 1st and 10.
Ryan Walsh again on the tackle. One of the concepts the Bulldogs are trying to work with here is run the ball inside, look for those openings, but try to draw those strong safeties into the interior of play where they can throw over them. Look for Drake to try a deep pass off of play action here in the next series.
Not going to bring in the yard markers. Certainly looks close enough to me on 2nd down. Looks like it's a 1st down if they bring in the yard markers, but 2nd down and 1/4 inch.
Inches.
Yeah.
Inches.
Back to pass.
There's
got
play.
some play action. Looking down the middle's got his man overthrown.
Oh.
Intercepted. Oh, man. Intercepted. Just overthrew his intended receiver, Ed Jennings, the junior, and intercepted by Aurora. Boy, Rob, we didn't need that one. He had time.
No, we really didn't need that one. He had time to play a bad pass, overthrew his tight end, I believe, coming across the middle. Let's see the replay.
Is there a penalty flag down?
Ben goes back, personal foul, throws the pass, overthrows the tight end coming across the middle, and is picked off.
Oh, there we saw it right at the end of the play there. There you could see as Garrett LaFleur, the personal foul, put his helmet right in there, and no doubt about it, a good call by the officials here this afternoon.
Matt Deegan with the interception for the Aurora Spartans. Tough play for the Bulldogs. Tough to keep your momentum going when you have something like that happen.
15-yard penalty against the Bulldogs not only gives Aurora the football, but also the ball at the 36-yard line and a 1st and 10 here. And I think we're going to have a different quarterback. It's going to be Brody Wolf going to be in the lineup. Bringing the linebackers, and he's in trouble, and they got him down for a little or no gain on the play. Boy, Matt Garvis was coming with a full head of steam.
When Matt Garvis comes, there is no question about it. It's not a finesse play. The whole Bulldog linebacker core on a blitz play. And remember, number 11, the quarterback for Aurora now, Brody Wolf, is the passing quarterback. He's not an option quarterback.
Well, you can see that he's not going to be a running quarterback. 230 pounds.
You said that, I didn't, okay?
A little meaty there. 2nd down and 9 after a gain of a yard. They're bringing linebackers from the outside, trying to get there, and he turns it up. Oh, man. Meet Matt Garvis and company out there for the Dogs. Wow.
Great play by the Drake defense. Now, the one that didn't make the tackle that really made the play on this for the Bulldogs was Tom Becker out at the left side cornerback. He took on the offensive lineman, kept turning him in, and there was Mr. Garvis just smiling at that running back.
3rd down and 9 as the last pitch to number 31 went to Fonzie Medina, but I think they're going to have to pass it if they're going to get anywhere. I don't think you can run against this Drake team.
4 wide outs by the Spartans.
On 3rd down, bringing linebackers again. Now he's in trouble, scrambling, throws the football, and we'll see what they're going to call it.
Did he throw it or lateral?
I think it was underhanded.
I think it was a pass.
Now the officials discussing of what it was, and I think they're going to.
Incomplete pass?
Now they'll discuss it. Let's see how we got the replay. Go ahead, Rick. Let's see what he did here.
Let's see Brody Wolf. Lots of pressure. I couldn't pick it up there. I think he threw the pass there.
Going to be incomplete pass. Going to bring up 3rd down.
You can throw an underhanded pass just as easily as an overheaded pass. The same thing counts.
That'll bring up a 4th down. Excuse me. 4th down now in 9 situation, and bringing up a punting situation. And that'll bring in Ryan Wrigley, who had a huge punt here earlier in the game. 2:16 to go, 1st quarter, Drake leading 7-0.
Drake has not changed out their defensive for specialty team. They're looking for the fake punt here.
B.J. Hellier back at his 10-yard line. Now the official will call delay of game, and that won't hurt him at all because that'll just move him back 5 and give him 5 more yards to work with. Try and get this punt down inside the 10-yard line. Well, that was an interesting play. I'll tell you what, Drake's really blitzing the linebackers here in this series.
Well, you've got a quarterback who's in there to pass. You're going to take every opportunity to try to put as much pressure as you can on him, specifically right now as the momentum is with the Bulldogs.
Now they will get ready to punt it away. Wrigley will be standing at his own 45-yard line. High snap from center, gets it up. Not a real good punt, trying to hit it to the side, and that one will get off about the 10-yard line. So not a bad punt here by Aurora, and again the Bulldogs start deep, and this one starts from their 10-yard line. The last one that finished up in an interception, they started from their own 4-yard line. So the third series for the Drake Bulldogs. First one produced a touchdown. The second one was an interception. This is the third trip now.
Third trip for the Bulldogs. Let's look at the score again. Drake 7, Aurora 0. First quarter, 2:09 left in the first quarter, and I think it's been a good quarter for the Bulldogs. They've really dominated from an offensive standpoint. One mistake, but let's see what the offense can do here to try to continue to dominate this Aurora defense.
Cortez Hall in the lineup along with Pete Lobi now for the Bulldogs. Cortez gets the call, has some blockers, chopped down at about the 12, 13-yard line. So a couple of yards is all the Bulldogs can produce. It'll bring up second and long.
Cortez is the only senior of this running back group, the 5'9", 196-pound senior, a name we've called many times before and a very successful running back for the Bulldogs over the years.
Brendan Daly into the lineup now for the Bulldogs, and checking out is going to be Pete Lobi, number 35. Ben Warford at the quarterback spot. Cortez Hall in there at the backfield. You get a good shot from the line of scrimmage here for the Dogs. Second down, call it 2nd and 6. Cortez, looking for some room up there. Boy, I'll tell you what, the yards are coming awfully tough now for Drake. Give him a couple of more, but it's still going to bring up 3rd down and 4, or long 3 anyway, for Drake.
That time for Aurora, R.J. Erb, a 6'3", 285-pound junior, really made a nice play. Was able to dominate the line of scrimmage, fill his hole, and Cortez really had no place to go.
3rd down for Drake. Seen a lot of running plays so far, Rob.
I think they want to really establish that, Mick. I think they can dominate this Aurora defense.
Bulldogs have had some tough games already this season with some real physical teams, but I don't think Aurora's is as physical as the Drake Bulldogs have seen the first 3. 3rd down coming up. Back to pass, draw play up the middle. Not going to be able to get that one as he gets up to the 20. Might fall forward, but I don't think he's going to get it. Going to bring up 4th down in a long yard in a punting situation for Rob Ash.
Well, Rob was just trying to build the confidence of his young quarterback. Not going to try to throw the ball, going to do things right, punt the ball. Defense is playing great right now.
Michael McKee into the lineup Brian Peck into the lineup for the Bulldogs to punt it away. It'll be down his own 7-yard line.
Brian Peck is really a substitute punter, and he still leads the Pioneer League with a 35.9-yard average. Very nice punting average for the Bulldogs.
Brandon Kopp back, not even at midfield right now. Boy, Aurora, that's 2 seconds. Bulldogs trying to wait, and they will for the end of the first quarter to try and get that wind. And that's exactly what will happen. The Bulldogs now will reverse field position and will get the wind. Good call by the coach.
Yeah, they really did use their...
Looked like to me maybe the clock had run out, but even if I was Coach Ash, I'd still let the play clock run out and get that win for an extra 5 yards.
Even if you're going to take a penalty, it's worth it for the wind we have today. It really will make a strategic difference here.
So the Bulldogs will go to the far end, and now we'll get some of the win. 7-0. Drake Bulldogs leading over Aurora here as we head to the second quarter of play.
Mick, what are your feelings? The Bulldogs last week had a tough game of Wisconsin lacrosse. Just a big physical team. As you would look at the replay, really a team Drake played very well against. Could have won the game, but very impressed with their personnel.
I agree. Bulldogs have looked impressive. Right now, if you're Aurora offensively, don't you got to be thinking, what the heck? You know, we couldn't run against them. They're bringing the linebackers when we pass. You're going to have to hear them, screen plays, I guess, or...
They've not been real successful on offense all year round. They've done two things. They've changed their offense completely this year. They put in the option plays for their option quarterback, and they also then put in what they call the West Coast offense for their passing quarterback. The problem with the West Coast offense so far is you got to have time to throw the ball.
Or all of a sudden it's a Midwest or Mid-Southern or something.
It's the Ohio State offense.
That's
is what
exactly
it is.
Right. So the Bulldogs now again will pedal it away here as we've been waiting. Brian Peck, the senior, will be standing at his own 7-yard line. Back deep, Brandon Kopp, the lone back, 10 guys up on the line of scrimmage here for Aurora. Now they'll set up the return. Low driving punt. Koff at his own 42. Here comes the return. Nothing. Maybe a yard. That's it. Gets to the 45. And here comes the Aurora offense, which has not produced much.
Brendan Koff has got a lot of guts. He's 5'5", weighs 140 pounds. And that's a case, in that case, I would have fair caught that ball right there.
I agree wholeheartedly. You got 3 Drake Bulldogs right there on some good coverage. Here comes Aurora. The Spartans up here under the head coaching of Jim Scott, and they'll bring the lone back.
We've got our option quarterback. Let's see what happens.
Back to pass. Looking for a quick pass, in trouble. Going to just throw it up in the air. It is incomplete. Almost could have been intercepted. Now, I'll tell you what, the quarterback, I'm sure, of Mark Hancock said, I'm not going to get pinned back here. Just threw it. Could have been intercepted.
Well, you had great pressure that time. You had J.C. Smirka and Brian Peck in there, both of them who had pressure on him. 3 Drake Bulldogs touched the ball when it was thrown. Could have been intercepted, but hey, a linebacker decided to bat it down.
2nd down and 10, 14:46. Second quarter, Drake leading 7-zip. Aurora at their own 46-yard line. Again, Hancock, the quarterback, man in motion. Back, draw, rolls to the left. Now throws it downfield. Again, knocked away at the last second. Good defense for the Bulldogs. Kerman Mason coming through.
Kerman Mason played that ball about as well as you can as a cornerback. He broke on the ball, had great coverage, and as the ball was thrown, read the quarterback and broke on it.
Give some credit here to Aurora. Now, they've realized they're not going to be able to sit back in the pocket. They're going to have to roll out to get any time at all. But I'll tell you what, that's going to be tough for the quarterback to throw.
It certainly is, especially when you've got what I'm told is their option quarterback trying to throw on a rollout pass.
Hancock still in there at the quarterback slot. Ryan Kennedy will be in the backfield, on with Brett Runkle. 3rd down and 10 upcoming here for Aurora. Back to pass again. Looks down the middle, going long, and it is complete to the 20, down to the 15-yard line. The Bulldogs give him the long one. Rick Natividad in there for the reception.
Yeah, Rick ran just a post pattern, really got behind the Drake defense. Good pressure on the quarterback, but the ball was laid out just in far enough where he could make the catch. Let's look at the replay. Mark Hancock drops back. Watch him float the ball up there. Rick gets behind the defensive backs. 1st down.
1st down and 10. Back to live action. Got a hit right in the middle of the field and brings him down after about a yard gain. Good defense for the Dogs, but gave up the long pass play here. And that was a 3rd down and 10 2 situation, Rob Hill.
They really had a great situation to get the Spartans to punt again. That time, Anthony Fuller on that small trap play up the middle made a nice stick for the Bulldogs.
14 minutes to play. First half, 7-zip Drake, but Aurora here on the move after the long pass play. Down inside the 15, back to pass, has pressure, looks in trouble, and he's going to be knocked down at the 24-yard line. Nailed him as the Bulldogs brought them all.
Brian Andrews, a defensive end, and again, Anthony Fuller, 2nd time in a row we've called his name, with lots of pressure on the quarterback, Mark Hancock.
Well, first quarter stats being given to us here. Total offense, 97 for the Bulldogs. Aurora only able to produce 9 so far in the early going. No offense by the Aurora except for that one lone pass, and now they're looking at 3rd down, and geez, how many, 20? Man in motion, drop right up the middle. Garvis got a hand on him and brings him down for about a yard gain. Man, Matt Garvis is just a complete animal up there, middle linebacker.
And remember, you've got a guy here, Matt Garvis, who weighs 232, who dominates the inside, chasing down Fonzie Medina, who is 5'3", 150 pounds. And Matt Garvis did a great job there, broke down, made the tackle. For those of us who have any appreciation for linebackers, that's the play to watch right there.
4th down upcoming, 4th and 18 now for Aurora. They're going to leave in Mark Hancock, the quarterback. See if they go back to that middle pattern again on 4th down. Down the middle, incomplete. Off the fingertips this time, but Andy Silvestri, the intended receiver, and the Bulldogs will take over on down at their own 24-yard line.
What's concerning, Mick, is he was there. He was wide open. He had the chance for the ball to be caught. The pass was delivered too high. Good play by the Drake defense, but the coaching staff's got to be concerned when you have a wide receiver across the middle on a 4th down and 20 like that they can get that kind of penetration.
Here come the Dogs on first down. Let's see what they can do with it here. This or what, their fourth time with the football, fourth possession. Out of the I formation here. Bulldogs pretty much have tried to establish that run offense so far in the first half. Back to pass. Looking on the far side. Hoskins got his man wide open. Boy, they're giving Hoskins plenty of room over there. First down up to the 36-yard line. I'll tell you what, they're really respecting the speed of Richard Hoskins.
They really are, and Richard Hoskins will take that gain every time. Let's watch the replay. Ben Wolford is a quarterback, plenty of time. Watch him look over the field. He knows where he's going. He looks it off, comes back for Ben Hoskins. Good play right there.
First and 10. Bulldogs at their own 36-yard line. Charlie Schimberg up the middle, has some running room, gets 4, and up to the 40, second down and 6 upcoming.
You know, it's not real impressive when you run that play, but you look at the offensive skills that Drake possesses and how they were doing the blocking of the offensive. That's a nice play, 4 yards. Charlie does a good job. Charlie can go 10 on one of those in a minute. It's just a good play for the Bulldogs.
They've been able to do those 3 and 4 all day long with Charlie, along with Cortez Hall and Rico Chapman. Charlie's going to stay in the lineup on second down and 6. Back to pass. Has Schimberg on the screen play. A little lone man screen. Going to pick up the first down. 50 down to the 45-yard line. Brought one blocker out there with him, Rob Hill, and then just a one-man screen.
That's exactly what it is. Charlie Schimberg, as you can see, from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, waiting for big 6'5", 306 Felix Gallagher to make his block, and he did. Let's watch. It's really designed this way. One offensive lineman. Right there, you can see the block by Felix Gallagher. Great block, and down the field Charlie goes.
I'm sorry, I thought you said 306 pounds.
That's what I said.
First down and 10, Bulldogs at the Aurora 45-yard line. Audibles off of the line of scrimmage. Hand off right side. Cortez Hall stirs it up 40 down to the down to the 36-yard line, but he gets 9 before he's uplifted off his feet.
Ryan Walsh with a hit for Aurora. We've called his name several times today. He will support the run. Again, the Drake offensive line, Matt Jones out there on that lead block. Great job by the offensive line.
Going to bring up second down. Here comes a play you can play with. Second down and about a half a yard if you want to put one in the air. Here's one you can put one up there with Hoskins with man coverage. Pete Lobi in the backfield along with Cortez Hall on second down and short. Calls audibles off of the line of scrimmage on second down. Hands off. Cortez gets to the outside, 30, down to the 25 and knocked out of bounds. Well,
nice decision by Cortez Hall. Looked inside, no hole, bounced to the outside, made one move, and is able to pick up a great run for the Bulldogs.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs, down to the Aurora 25-yard line.
Mick, this drive that's coming pretty quick. Cortez Hall, let's see the replay. You can watch as he looks inside, does not see an opportunity to run, and then right there, boom, bounces outside, down the wheel. Nice move right there. And Rich Hoskins gets a medal. He made a great block on the outside that time.
Indeed he did. First down and 10. Charlie Schimberg, the lone fullback, back to pass, bringing the linebackers, going long. Now he's going to quarterback draw. Ah, man, gets back to the line of scrimmage. However, had he broke that initial line, Rob Hill, there was nobody that was going to stop him for 10 or 15 yards.
That play, Aurora brought all 3 linebackers. When Ben got back there to look, he wasn't quite sure what to do. Tucked the ball, got back to the line of scrimmage. Not too bad a play when you look at that.
Well, I think Ben was trying to explain it to the rest of the linemen and the coaches. Hey, it was open. Everybody was coming out. And what Ben did was just waited a little too long. You're going to see it.
That's right. It opened up.
Yeah, there it's open.
Right
then
there.
all of a sudden, it got away from Charlie, whoever he was blocking, and got him in there. Second and 10 for the Bulldogs. Charlie Schimberg right side. Big hole. 20 down to the 15. First and 10 down to the 12-yard line. And I'm going to tell you, I could run through that hole.
I could too. It's an unanimous. I tell you what, Felix Gallagher and Matt Jones just cleared a pathway through there. Both of them had their men on the ground, and he had a great run for the Bulldogs.
Big hole for the Bulldog fans to watch here today. First and 10 down to the Aurora 12-yard line. This drive started after Aurora sizzled out on a fourth down play.
Well, you know, Mick, the offensive line's doing a very fine job. They love it, too. This is where it's fun for an offensive lineman when they're able to make big, dominating blocks.
First and 10 Bulldogs. Charlie Schimberg still in there. Now the officials calling timeout here. Did Aurora take a timeout? Indeed they did. Aurora timeout of the field here with Drake leading by the score of 7-0 as we see. And I'm sure that the defensive unit wants to take a second and try and talk things over. But I'll tell you what, the offensive line of the Bulldogs has been impressive so far.
Well, they really have. They've done a great job. And, you know, again, as I said, this is when it's fun for them. They're on a roll. They've got the momentum. They're able to do trap blocks, straight ahead blocking, all the fun things they've been taught. And this is when it really gets to be fun for an offensive lineman. And that's if offensive linemen have any fun at all.
So the Bulldogs will be looking at a first down. And one thing that Coach Rob Ash has been able to do is not go out of the air very much. And when he did, he has been fairly successful, except for the one interception.
Well, I think that's right now with a young quarterback and an offensive line that's dominating. Rob Ash will take that. They want to win this game. They want to come out of this game without a lot of injuries. And right now with the 7-0 lead and with Drake threatening to score again, a very good environment for the Drake Bulldogs.
9:25 to play in the half. Drake leading 7-0 right now over Aurora, but the score really didn't even indicate how much the Bulldogs have dominated this ball game. They've had the offensive out on there a long time today. Well, here comes Ben Wolford, the quarterback, up there. Hand off, near side, trying to get to the outside. Cortez turns it up, and he's down inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line.
Just couldn't get there. Couldn't quite get there. Again, had the blockers in front of him, just couldn't quite get around the corner. Picked up a couple yards, but not to the great yardage the Bulldogs have picked up the last 4 or 5 plays.
Yeah, give him a gain of 3. It'll bring up second down. Call it 2nd and 7 now for the Bulldogs. As you can see, Cortez Hall coming off on the near sideline as they split a man to the right side, Robert Berkeley. So on 2nd and 7, Charlie Schimberg, the lone back in the backfield. Hands off up the middle. Nope, nowhere to go. Good defense by Aurora. Good job.
Kevin Watson, the middle linebacker, really made a nice play that time. Drake likes to audible into that trap play up the middle. And in that type of situation, it's the middle linebacker's responsibility when he reads the trap play to step up and make the tackle. And that time, Kevin Watson did so.
So now it's going to bring up a 3rd down situation for Drake and a possible passing situation. What do you think? Got man coverage out there.
Run it across the middle. Tight end.
Ben Wolford on 3rd down. Long count of the line of scrimmage. Aurora showing blitz, bringing a couple of guys, looks down the middle, got his man! Oh! Incomplete, intended for Chad Hagen, the freshman. I'll tell you what, he had it in his hands, but it might have been tipped by an Aurora player. I think it probably had an Aurora and then Drake.
It's really a tough catch to make. We can't appreciate it. It did hit him in the hands, but I think it had been tipped, and he had 2 people in front of him, and all of a sudden, boom, here's the ball. Let's watch the replay. Great protection this time. They had a blitz on. The running backs pick it up. Right, 1, 2, boom. I think it was touched twice.
I think you're probably right. Into the kicking will be Michael McKee, the senior. 15th in the nation in field goals, and this one will be planted at the 17, so a 27-yard attempt coming up by Drake. McKee 5 of 6 in field goals so far this year. Boy, he's got plenty of leg there, and this one's up and good.
Great kicker. The Bulldogs have always had a good kicking staff. That time, he really had the distance on it. This is a real important part of the Drake game this year. If they can get close, they can have the field goals. They also have an outstanding kicking from a punting and kickoff standpoint. And having a Michael McKee will win some ball games for you.
Make it 10-0 Bulldogs as Michael McKee adds 3 on after the Wolford pass to Chad Westberg, a 12-yard touchdown pass play that made it earlier 7-0. And I'll tell you what, Rob, we said it a minute ago, 10-0. Of course, the offensive unit's been out there a lot here for Drake so far. I'm going to be anxious to see the time of possession in the first half.
You know, it really does have an effect. They talk about this, but it is more difficult to play defense. You lose your enthusiasm. You get tired when you're on defense, chasing ball carriers, chasing the quarterback. We can wear out a defensive unit, and that's what's happening, I believe, as you watch the Bulldogs. They've been out there for 4 series, and they've dominated on all 4 series.
So getting ready to tee it up and kick it off, Michael McKee once again. Back deep is going to be Brett Runkle, a freshman for Aurora. They are a younger team as you take a look, but they'd also have, I think, they had 15 returning starters from last year, too.
You bet.
Deep kick. Runkle will field this one his own 5 to the 10. 15, 20. Oh,
Hello.
23-yard line, and that's it. And that's where the Aurora offense, which has really only had one impressive offensive play so far.
Well, number 38 for the Bulldogs made the tackle, a special teams hero, Jeff Michaelzik, and I apologize for his name. I had a tough, I don't know how you say the last name, but he really got downfield and made a great hit.
1st and 10 here for Aurora. This time, see what they go with. Man in motion, back split in the backfield. Going to fumble the football, but jump back on it here, so there'll be no gain. Going to be anxious to see what Aurora and the head coach Jim Scott goes with here, because nothing has really worked very well. One thing they've had to do is had to roll out of the pass plays.
They really had. They've had to try to get their people outside to get away from that Drake pass rush. And a good thing Drake can do is play some other people. They've got some new defensive linemen in there now, which gives them an opportunity to rest their defense. Now there we see the end of the fumble play, the play prior to this.
Mark Hancock, the quarterback, in there for Aurora. They got 2 quarterbacks pretty much gone with him. Now he's going to scramble. You know, if you're a quarterback for Aurora, you got to be thinking, gee, Merry Christmas, I'm not having any time back here.
Well, that time Brian Fultz, the backup to Brian Andrews, makes the tackle. Great penetration. Eric Musha on the tackle also. The Bulldogs on the defensive line are really starting to create some problems for them. They don't have any rhythm, it doesn't feel like. They don't seem to have any strategy or rhythm to what they're trying to accomplish right now.
3rd down and 9 for Aurora. Yeah, they just got some plays, and they're going to play it and see if anything works. 3rd down upcoming. I can't believe they haven't run a screen of some kind. Quick pass play, going to the far sidelines.
Oh, nice catch.
Nice catch. Down inside the 50, down to the 49-yard line. I didn't think it was that bad a coverage, really, by the Drake defense, Kerman Mason, but either he stumbled or got pushed to the ground and got the reception.
Well, Andy Silverstreet made the catch for Aurora. Let's see if we can watch it on the replay. Lays the ball up real high. There it is. A little bit of a push. Part of the action, though. They're not going to call that play. 1st
and 10 Aurora, 2 pass plays, the only thing they've been productive with so far today. Now they'll go back to the ground, and the quarterback, I don't know, I think it was an option, and he was faking out of the fullback as they were tackling him at the same time, and he just turned it up, gets 3 yards, going to bring up 2nd and 7 down to the Drake 45-yard line. It looked like Drake had so much penetration that time, Rob, that they actually tackled the fake man on the dive play. Well, before an option works, you've got to seal that off, and right now Aurora's having difficulty doing that. 2nd down. Hancock still in there at quarterback. Back to pass, bringing the linebackers. Quick pass play down the middle. Good call by Aurora, and they're down inside the 45, down to the 41-yard line. That's exactly what they're going to have to do, is some quick passes here. Well, Darren Bush with the tackle. That's his responsibility. Full blitz by the Bulldogs. They ran their tight end around the corner there. Had it right in the spot they wanted, but Darren Bush made a nice tackle. Now everybody comes for the Bulldogs right up the middle, picks it off right where the linebackers would have been. Good play, but still 3 yards, 4 yards. Defensively, you'll take that. 3rd down and 3 upcoming here for Aurora. They're going to have to hustle the line of scrimmage. 10 on the play clock. On 3rd down to 4 seconds to go on the play clock. I don't think they're going to get it off. And he calls a timeout right at the last second as time was running down. I was going to say they were taking their time as they were getting up there, Rob, and I didn't think they'd probably get it off in time. And, well, I tell you what, that kind of takes your momentum away now to call a timeout here. Well, it really does. When you have 3rd down and 3, you're probably in 2-down territory. They want to take advantage. They've got to get some momentum. To have that happen is really disruptive to your team. 3rd down is what Aurora is looking at here, and Matt comes to the near side here. Matt Garvis for the Drake Bulldogs. Boy, good crowd on hand here today for the Bulldogs. It's Parents' Day, and a lot of people showing up, of course. And boy, I tell you what, it's good to see the near side almost filled completely here for Drake. Well, they've done a great job of developing a loyal following. A lot of parents here today to enjoy the festivities. A lot of players' parents, too, travel with the Bulldogs to not only home games, but they're out of town supporting the Bulldogs. Well, it's been interesting, this 2-quarterback offense, but Mark Hancock, the option quarterback, has had to be put into the passing role today. Well, Brody Wolf has not been back after his first shot. No, and he was not impressive on that first shot either. 3rd down upcoming, 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 for Aurora here, and I got to believe even if they don't get the 3rd down, they'll probably keep it on the 4th. Rolls left, in trouble, stumbles, looks to run, now throws the ball, got a man, incomplete.
Out of bounds.
Going to say he just was on the out of bounds over there. And tell you what, I'm not so sure that the quarterback couldn't run for the 1st down.
Yeah, I tell you what, Mick, that play was kind of a scramble to start with. Intentionally, they had it set up that way. He's left-handed, was able to make the throw, but he could have ran for a 1st down. Let's watch the replay. Mark Hansen rolling to his left. In trouble, bounces off his first person. Left-handed throw, not a tough throw, but just out of bounds.
4th down, that'll bring up a punting situation here. Brian Ridgely will come on, be standing at his own 45-yard line. B.J. Hellier will be back at his own 10-yard line. Punting into the wind here. This one got high one, going to call for a fair catch. And then right at the 10-yard line. So a good job by B.J. Hellier for the Drake Bulldogs, who have not really had that great a field position to start with today.
Well, they've started off from the 4-yard line with 1. Now, they had a turnover that time, but they were driving. Last time they started off from the 12 or the 15. Every drive, they've been in their own, deep in their own territory.
So the Bulldogs offensive unit has 4 minutes and 54 seconds to work with here in our 1st half, with Drake winning 10-zip over Aurora. And for the most part, it's been a Drake 1st half. So we've seen a lot of ground games so far today.
Drake's got a new running back in, Jason Grove.
Yep, Jason Grove will get the call immediately, and he gets cut down for a little gain.
Jason's a freshman from Adel, 6'1", 195. Has been very impressive for the Bulldogs during the preseason and was injured right at the last scrimmage for the Bulldogs. Has not had much playing time, so this is his 1st opportunity.
Holding call against the Bulldogs on that last play. That might force the Bulldogs into a passing situation, Rob.
You know, Mick, this holding has got to be the toughest call in all football anymore, because they've opened up and liberalized how offensive linemen can use their hands. Aurora declines the penalty here. The thought process is that you've got 2nd down and 10. You'd only get 5 yards on the penalty because they're up against the goal line anyhow.
So the Bulldogs on 2nd and 10 upcoming here, and Charlie Schimberg back into the lineup. But I'll tell you what, Ben Wolford's got some confidence, I think, in the early 1st half here. On 2nd down, Charlie, left side. Good penetration by Aurora, and they cut him down after a couple.
Yeah, the Aurora defensive lineman, 92, Brian Carter, did a nice job that time, taking care of the offensive lineman for Drake and able to make the tackle. Also, we again saw Kevin Watson, their middle linebacker, who we've called his number a number of times today.
Gain of a yard, going to bring up 3rd down and 8 now for the Drake Bulldogs, and might see that passing offense.
This could be it right here. Let's see if they open it up, try to pick up the 1st down.
4 minutes to go, 1st half. A quick 1st half so far, especially with Drake with the ball and Drake running the ball. What do you think? Screen? Back to pass, going down the middle, long, and he's incomplete.
Nice play.
Pass intended for Robert Berkland. He says, let's just see what you can do and air it out there. And they did exactly that with Brandon Koff with equal speed, I got to believe, with Robert Berkeley, and incomplete. Anybody's ball out there.
You know what? That was really nice coverage by Koff. That
Really was.
Let's watch the play. Good pass protection. Notice the fake on the run. Good throw, Mick. He threw it right out there where it had to be, and it's just good defensive play by Brandon Koff.
Peck going to punt this one away on his own goal line. Does have the wind to his back, which should help out a little bit. Oh, bad snap. And then he dropped the ball. Kind of fielded it at midfield, and they get it at the 45-yard line. I don't know, Rick, if we get that on replay or not, but I want to show you the punt of Brian Peck when he got a bad snap, and then when he dropped it, the ball came down.
He almost dropped it and tumbled it down, and it almost missed the ball. It missed the kick.
So Aurora will get this one at their.
Oh.
The Bulldog. Watch this.
Can you see? Yeah, it almost tumbled out of his hands when he was trying to kick it.
So Aurora on 1st down to the Bulldog 45-yard line. Back to pass, looking for a quick set. Now in trouble. Throws.
Oh, there it is! Garvis.
Garvis to the 40. The 35, and Matt Garvis, who isn't the most speedy guy on the team, returns it to the 30-yard line of the Spartans, and Matt Garvis has probably just been waiting for the time to pick one of those off. today.
Hey, Matt Garvis, how about that move he put on out there when he was trying to run that back? The 6'3", 232-pound linebacker from Minnetonka, Minnesota makes a great play. Good pressure on the quarterback. Let's watch the replay here. This is after. Here's Matt. Now watch this move right there. Boom. He says, I'm not going to go around you. I'm going to run over you, Mr. Quarterback.
Second interception of the year, and the Drake Bulldogs get it right back offensively with 3:23 to go in the half, leading 10-0. First and 10, and up, going to keep it himself. I think he might have missed the handoff. Penalty flags coming down to the area where you might see some holding. And I think it was intended to hand off to Jason Grove, but couldn't get to him.
Yeah, the ball came out from center funny. He was not able to get the ball out to his running back and just did the smart thing. Holding is the call against the Bulldogs.
Now this time they're going to take him backwards.
I tell you, Matt Garvis is a linebacker. Every linebacker's dream is to be able to intercept that pass and go for a touchdown. Matt said, I'm not going to try to make a move here. I'm just going to punish their quarterback.
So the yardage will be marked off against Drake. 3:16 to go in the half. 10-0 Drake, and let's see if we can catch what happened. He just couldn't quite get it to him.
He didn't get the start of the play. The ball just did not come out right, and once he got back there, he was a step late and had to hang on to it.
So the 10-yard penalty will move it back to the 40-yard line, and the Bulldogs looking at a 1st and 20 situation now. Rob Ash doesn't like to go for it all, though. He'll try and pick at it here with 3 minutes remaining in the halftime. Wolford and company to the line of scrimmage. Up, handoff to Charlie up the middle. Nothing going. He'll do the unexpected, that's for sure.
Yeah, Jeff Rupert and Brian Carter are on the play for the Spartans. What that is, Mick, is that when Ben Wolford comes to the line of scrimmage, he will read the defensive backs. One of the audibles is that play, which is a trap play, one of Rob's favorite plays. It's a play he feels in order for the Drake offense to be successful, he needs to be able to run. And that time, the Spartans did a very fine job of plugging up the middle.
2nd and 19 coming up for Drake. Aurora's been bringing some blitzes. They show blitz from the outside. Back to pass, got a man wide open down the middle, Robert Berkeley.
Oh, nice play.
Oh, little play action reverse, and Berkeley burned his man and had him wide open for the 40-yard touchdown pass.
What a play by the Bulldogs. What a play. Ben, we got to really give some credit here to Ben Wolford. When he looked downfield and Robert Berkeley was wide open, he laid the ball out. Let's watch it. They faked the running play, faked the reservers, and watch him lay this ball out so there's no question that Robert Berkeley would run under it. He didn't try to fire it. He just said, here, you go find it. You've got plenty of room. Great play by the Bulldogs. Ben Wolford, another touchdown pass, and Robert Berkeley showing that speed out there as number 7 for the Bulldogs.
Boy, that play action, the fake reverse just stopped that safety momentarily, and they were able to score. Here comes Michael McKee on for the extra point. It is up, and the chip shot up and good. Make it a 17-0 lead by the Drake Bulldogs.
Well, Mick, you know, as you're a coaching staff up in the press box, they're constantly looking for opportunities to take advantage of the defense. On that play, Drake has been running. That time, they not only faked the play up the middle, also faked the reverse, and Ben Wolford kept the ball on his hip. They didn't know where it was at and was able to lay it out there for an outstanding play. Again, let's watch the replay. Now watch the ball here. See how it's on his hip? Fakes the reverse. Now again, impressive. Look how he lays the ball out for the wide receiver to run under it. He did not try to throw it. Did not try to throw it as a hard pass or try to throw it so it's something to be tough to catch.
17-0, 2:08 to go in the first half. As Michael McKee gets ready to kick it off here for the Bulldogs again. And the Bulldogs, I'll tell you, I just can't wait to see the halftime stats, see the time of possession.
Well, it's been amazing this first half. That one didn't take long, though.
No, that one didn't take long. Offense, I'll tell you, they got some confidence for quarterback Ben Wolford.
And they need a game like this. They have played some tough games this year that have been very physical.
Well, look at that kick. Man, that one's going to be driving all the way back, and he's going to field it
Here he
and
comes.
bring it out of there. The 5, 10, 15. Oh, man, he'll pay for that 17-yard run. Wow. Tell you what, I think I would have left that one in there, but not to be. They brought her back out.
John Kuster with the big hit there. Again, we had our really the star of the defense, Ryan Walsh, right there trying to return it 2 yards deep. Bad decision.
Here comes the Aurora offense. They're going to leave in Mark Hancock. I don't think we're going to see Brody Wolf anymore.
From Waverly, Iowa. With 4 minutes left.
17 zip. Option. Finally got, I think that's about the first pitch today, isn't it?
That's the first pitch, and in the last 3 series, they had not ran the option at all.
Couple of yards here, trying to go back to the original game plan with 1:50 to go in the first half.
Well, what you do as a coaching staff, you've got to try to get you got to control the ball a little bit. The defense for the Aurora, as you've spoken about, has been on the field the whole time. Got to control the ball. You got to get these guys a breather over there.
You know, and the bad part about when you're the defense and you're on the field, you can't make adjustments, you can't get a breather, and you're just, you know, sooner or later you just go wore down. It's fun playing offense, you know, when you're out there. Sometimes it isn't so fun when you've got to play defense all day. Option to the right side. Pitch again. Got the second one here in a row. And
Nice
that one's going to
play.
get maybe a couple of yards. Drake playing the option well here. And they come up and make the stop.
Well, Darren Bush on the stop. Darren's been around. We've called his name many times over the years.
Yeah.
Played that perfectly. That's his responsibility as a strong safety, is the pitch man. Let's watch the replay. Now, the idea with an option is to try to cover. We've got that covered. Quarterback's covered. Now, here's the pitch. He looks like he has some room, but Darren Bush is right there to make the tackle. That's the way the coaches teach it. Just an outstanding job.
Time out of the field here by the Drake Bulldogs. Going to take a second here with third down upcoming. And about 6 situation for Aurora. Only 1:05 is what remains here in the first half, and Drake winning 17-0. And as you might expect, as the score indicates, Drake certainly has been dominating here in the first half.
They really have. The Bulldog defense has done a great job. It's a fun game for offense and defense, but it's really good to see the Bulldogs get together and play a full 4 quarters of football, and also against a team that they can try some new things against.
So the timeout still here as Aurora is still over on the far side talking with their head coach. He's got to be scratching his head right now. I did get the option here in a couple of plays, picked up 4 or 5. But at this point, they got to be wondering what they're going to have to do offensively in the second half to even get back in this game.
Well, remember, Mick, this is a new offense for the Spartans. In the past, they've been very conservative I-type backs, you know. This year, they're trying to open it up, and it's a challenge for them.
So on third down, back split of the backfield, option this time to the left side. Quarterback turns it up to himself. He'll get to the 25. And again, Drake takes another timeout.
Drake wants that ball back. It gives them opportunity now. It's 4th down, a minute to go. They will have an opportunity for our offense one more time before the end of the first half.
Back deep is going to be Rico Chapman. Are going to try and set up something with him. So if he could get 20, 30 yards, that'd put Drake back in a situation to score here before the half comes to a close.
And I think with the win, Michael McKee has an opportunity from a field goal standpoint. He may be able to try to chuck one up there.
Indeed. So the Bulldogs in all aspects have been impressive so far, and right now just waiting for the timeout, and we'll get back to the last minute of play here this first half. Quarterback situation, Ben Wolford's done a nice job, Rob.
He really has, and it's great to see a young person like that mature. Coaching staff had great confidence in him. Second half of the Wisconsin lacrosse game, did a very fine job, and it's really an opportunity for Drake to continue to build for future years when you have people like Ben Wolford who are on the sidelines but are prepared to play in a game like this.
Well, I can see down to the near sideline, Rob Ash, Joe Hadachek talking with Ben Wolford. So they're getting ready for that offense in the 1 minute left. Drake will still have a timeout remaining, by the way, in case they need to use it for get the field goal team in. Oh, coming for the block, and he puts this one straight up in the air. Oh, my goodness, caught the ball. Penalty flag's coming down. I don't know if he called for a fair catch or not.
Did you see a fair catch call?
I didn't, and I was just wondering what the heck Rico Chapman was going to do.
Well, now remember, Rico learned a little earlier in the game that he has to catch the ball. Let's see if we gave a fair catch. catch signal. Let's watch the.
We might not be able to see it. That ball really hung in the air there. I don't know if we'll be able to see Rico or not. Fair catching. He's just running after the ball. He never puts his hand up.
Man.
But they're going to call for the penalty here against Aurora, but there was no indication for a fair catch, unless I didn't see it.
Well, you have to give him a yard or 2 yards to catch the ball, but that's a 5-yard penalty. This was a major infraction, so they called it, and he was just leveled.
So now the Bulldogs are going to have the ball at the Aurora 29-yard line.
Had about a 10-yard net punt then.
52 seconds remaining. Wolford back. Charlie Schimberg, screen right side. Got the big 300-pounder out there again for you, Rob, and he gets down to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, that Drake offensive line, that time they had a full-blown screen led by Nate Schneider, the center, so they had 3 people out there and a good pickup for the Bulldogs.
And big Felix Gallagher, 306 pounds out there as well. On second and short, 26 seconds to play in the half. 17 zip, Wolford back, looking, has time, now scrambles, out of the pocket, looking downfield, Charlie Schimberg down to the 10. He tries to get to the out of bounds. 14 seconds to go. Did he make it out there? Clock will stop, now they're winded up as the
Timeout.
trying to get the, gonna call a timeout.
Well, you got a first down.
Got to move the markers.
Now watch Charlie Schimberg. If we do the replay, we're going to have to move quickly. Ben Wolford outside. Charlie Schimberg turns, catches the ball. See, and one of the smart things they did, and Drake just downed the ball so they could have another play. But what Charlie did there was very smart. He had a certain pass pattern to run. When he saw the play start to break apart, he was able to move upfield and create some distance between him and the quarterback and make the catch and pick up a couple yards. A very smart play by a senior running back.
Well, what do you think? Drake, with 10 seconds to play, they're at the Aurora 9-yard line, so you're looking at least one play. You got a timeout remaining. They didn't have to waste one there.
Throw the fade pattern right here.
But you got to get your field goal team in. They're bringing the linebackers down the middle. Intercepted. And the ball returned to the 3-yard line. Well, what you didn't want to happen, happened. Anything but an interception, Rob.
Yeah, it really was. And that time we saw Ben Wolford try to force the ball in. We've got a replay here. Watch Ben as he backpedals. He has good time here. He's able to step out, threw it off his back foot. There's 2 defenders there, and just a good play by the Aurora Spartans.
Well, I tell you what, too many receivers for Drake in the same area there. Chad Westberg was there, and so was Hoskins. Brought his defender over, and I got to believe that wasn't supposed to be.
Well, I think it was supposed to be a quicker play than that. I think they started running around looking for an opening, and you see those kind of things happen.
Just 3 seconds is all that remains here in the half, so Aurora will just go down to the knee, and that'll be the end of the first half. Our first half comes to a close, but it belongs to the Drake Bulldogs as they head to the locker rooms here at halftime. The Drake Bulldogs lead by the score of 17-0. In there, and they finally started to run that option at the last part of the first half.
Well, they really do it. The first series of plays, they ran it 2 or 3 times, and then for the whole first half until the last series, they didn't do it at all. I think the thing you got to realize is if you look at Aurora's total offense of 83 yards, 2 of those 2 big plays really account for the majority of those yards.
Yeah, good point. Most of it the other way. For the individual statistic, Charlie Schimberg with 50. Cortez Hall has 32 in the receiving category. Schimberg also with 36, Berkeley with 39, and Wolfer with a couple of touchdown passes and a couple of interceptions as well. For Aurora, not much to talk about on any part of their statistics other than their punter. Has had some pretty good yardage so far.
Let's see what kind of changes Aurora makes in the second half. Let's see if they have to open it up to play catch-up here for a while. Also, let's watch again Ben Wolford, the young quarterback for Drake. If he can continue to be consistent He made 2 bad decisions in the first half, and both of those were interceptions.
Michael McKee will kick it off here for the Bulldogs. Ryan Walsh back deep for Aurora, and this one's going to be out of bounds. That'll be a 5-yard penalty against Drake. Or will they just take it?
Well, you can actually take it on the 35, or you can take the penalty. Let's see what their selection is.
Bringing on the offensive unit, must be just going to take the ball. So second quarter, your second half just about ready to get underway here with the kick out of bounds. Trying to keep it away from the return man. They'll take it at the 35, Rob. Not a bad decision.
No, and what a beautiful day for football, Mick. It really has turned into a pretty day. The wind is less of an issue than we thought it could be. It's still blowing briskly from the south, but still a pretty day for football at Drake Stadium.
Mark Hancock will be the quarterback here for Aurora. The Spartans hand up. Nope, pitch play to the left side. Gets it upfield. Now tries to get out, get a couple of yards after the long run that time. Well, a real quick pitch. Wasn't even really an option play that time.
No, in fact, those are not option plays. They're read that way. They know they're going to pitch when they select the play. It's already called in a huddle. Trying to get outside, trying to get some offense going for the Spartans.
Couple of yards, going to bring up second down and 7, call it.
44 Nevada, Las Vegas 16.
Second and 7 upcoming here for Aurora. What do you think? Continue to throw the pitch and quick pass plays?
I would anticipate they're going to run the option. I bet they'll come this way on this play.
Hand off right side. Garvis got a hand down him. Couldn't get it. First and 10. Broke away from the first couple of tackles. Up across the 45 to the 46. Little quick hitter that time.
Yeah, Darren Bush with the tackle for the Bulldogs, a strong safety. On that play, we probably saw as much intensity from that running back of getting up in the hole and getting downfield as we've seen the whole first half.
First and 10. You're looking at a Aurora team that came in here looking for a win. They're 0-2 on the year, and they're looking for some offense here in the second half. First down. Option left. Quarterback fell down. Going to fake and then pitch. No gain.
Yeah, Ryan Kennedy, the fullback, almost got tangled up with the quarterback on that play. If the fans at home will watch this offense and they continue to run, if they continue to run the option, watch where that fullback, number 20, Ryan Kennedy, is positioned. If he's on the right side of the offense, traditionally they'll go that way. If he's on the left side, that's where they'll go with the option because he is the lead back.
Hancock, the quarterback, on second. They actually lost a yard. He's going to call a second and 11 now. Bringing the linebackers in trouble. Throws it to the far side. Complete. Down to the 44-yard line. And they've been picking over there all day long on Kerman Mason.
Yeah, Andy Silvestre, the wide receiver, that's his third catch of the game. A nice catch by the junior. Let's watch the replay. Drake had a blitz on. They brought their inside linebackers. Good protection, quick pass, and a nice pass reception. He really had to extend his body and bring it back in.
Third and a yard is what they're going to call it here as they bring up the line of scrimmage. Just underway, third quarter. Drake Litting bringing the linebackers again. Second effort might have got him the first down as he gets down to the 43-yard line, close to the 42.5. I believe he got the first down, Rob.
Yeah, he's there. It's Ryan Kennedy with the carry for the Spartans. Just the starting, the fake right into the line with the dive back, the fullback, but that time they gave him the ball. Really kind of stumbled forward, bounced off a few people, and was able to get the first down.
First and 10, Aurora, the Spartans on the move here. With the first possession of the half. Hand up, right side again, missed tackle in there. This time by Brian Peck. Fumbled football, Drake has got it at the 45-yard line. The pitch and then the fumble, and Drake had to scramble, and they come up with the football.
It really was. The Drake defensive player just tore the ball out. John Kuster, the strong side linebacker for Drake, picked it up. Mick, if we have it on replay, let's watch it. I think he may have been down when he fumbled the ball right there, and I think it came out late. The officials didn't call it that way. Drake was trying to pick it up to go for the running for the touchdown, but he may have been down before the fumble took place.
First and 10, Drake Bulldogs, man split left and right. Quarterback up there, Ben Wolford brings him up at the line of scrimmage. Straight dive play, left side. Charlie trying to get to the outside, gets a couple. They're coming up. That defensive man coming up pretty fast. That's going to bring up a second down and 8 situation.
Good play by number 55, Kevin Watson of the Spartans, was able to take on the blocker, get outside, and make the tackle.
Also Drew Avery, number 24, also coming up there from his free safety spot. You know, that might have been what caused the problems in the first half when they sucked up for those safeties and halfbacks and then let a man behind him.
Well, that's what the Drake coaching staff had hoped for in the first half.
Score from Boulder.
Second down
It's Texas A&M 7, Colorado 0.
and 7.
Once again at Boulder, Colorado, it is Texas A&M 7.
Long count. Audible's off. Line of scrimmage. Back to pass. Has time. Has plenty of time. Going down the middle long. Incomplete. Should have been intercepted. Oh, man. Not a good pass intended downfield here for Chad Hang, but underthrew him.
Well, they really are picking on the defensive back, number 1. We've talked about him earlier. He's a small kid for the Brandon Koff. Let's watch the replay. Plenty of time here. Ben Wolford had good protection, able to set up, was able to throw. Good throw, but watch the throw. It's behind him, and that gave the defensive back the opportunity. Should have been intercepted. You're right on target, Mick.
11:41 to go. Third quarter, Drake leading 17-0. Third down and 7. Drake at their own 48-yard line. Draw play somewhat up the middle. Covered it well. No gain. Going to bring up 4th and punt.
Well, the Drake offensive line dominated the first half. The start of the second half, the Aurora Spartans have gotten off with quickness, basically, to get some penetration and create some problems for those running backs on that type of play.
Tell you what, this has been a different second half so far.
Well, it's starting off. Aurora is much more intense than they were in that first half.
Brandon Koff will be back deep here for Aurora for the return. He'll be standing at his own 18-yard line. Brian Peck will be at his own 35, be booting it away here. They had one semi-bad snap earlier. It's a good snap from center. Has time, good boot, driving punt. Koff back to his own 12, the return upcoming. And he gets turned backwards. I hope they don't see the face mask, because that's how they tackled him at the 5-yard, about the 6-yard line. But they also didn't see the Aurora clip here on the near sideline, which brought up an injured player for Drake, and that was McKee, Michael McKee.
Yeah, Jeff Michaelzik made the tackle. He made a tackle on the kickoff on the last kickoff. Let's watch the replay. Watch this catch. Koff does not like fair catches. Right there's the clipping, and then we get a little face mask, but we get our hands off of it quick.
Back to live action here on a first down. A big play upcoming for Aurora as they hand off up the middle to Fonzie Medina. And he gets up across the 15 to the 18. 1st and 10 for Aurora. This is a different Spartan team here in the second half.
You bet it is. And Fonzie last year had 620 yards at a 4.6 average. Outstanding average. So far today he's been limited, but for the year he's averaging 3.5 yards.
10:38 to play. Third quarter, 17 zip. 1st and 10. Man split in the backfield. Hand off left side. Man, big hole in there again for Fonzie Medina, and he's up across that 20 to the 25. And Rob Hale, they are getting some holes in there.
They're not doing anything special either, Mick. Those are lead plays. A straight blocking by the offensive line. The Drake defense is getting a good job by the Aurora offensive line. Drake defensive lineman having a little bit of trouble right now shutting down this running play.
Going to bring up 2nd down and 4, a gain of 6. Twins to the far side of the field. Back to pass, quick set, far side. Nope, nothing doing.
Looked like that ball almost slipped out of his hands. His wide receiver was there, but it was overthrown. Again, interesting to see them throw on 2nd down and 4.
Yeah.
Traditionally, that's been a running play for them, and it's quite frankly, from an offensive standpoint, a good opportunity for them to throw the ball.
Interesting indeed, and also on the part that Brody Wolf, their other quarterback on the 2-quarterback set, wasn't throwing the ball.
Yeah, in fact, talking to some of the Aurora people at halftime, they were surprised that Brody Wolf had not been in more and thrown the ball.
3rd down upcoming, 3rd and 4 now for Aurora. Now they get him in a passing situation. Back to pass, quick set over the middle, complete for the 1st down. Gets up across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
Mick, that's one of my favorite plays. That was to Pete Harrigan, their tight end. A real simple play. You fake the running play, you fake the option, you set it up nicely, and you can watch the replay. Watch the tight end at the top of the page. It's the inside linebacker's responsibility. Let's see what happens. Reed's run right there opens it up for the tight end, and he's able to pick up the nice play.
And there's another handoff up the middle, and that's going to get a couple of yards. You know, that's what the running game is going to do for you right there, Rob. Then they got to start to respect that run.
No question about it. The Drake linebackers start to crowd the line of scrimmage when you have a successful running game, and that opens up that tight end for those things right in that 5 to 7 yard zone.
I was wondering what happened to Matt Garvis on that play.
Yeah, he read run all the way.
Gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8. Ball resting at the Aurora 42-yard line. 9:13 to go in the third. 17 zip. Aurora on the move here. Starting to work the pass and run well together. Different second half team here by Aurora than we saw in the first half.
Much different, much more intensity from their players.
On 2nd down, the run has been quick hitters. Audibles off of the line of scrimmage on linebackers coming and trying to chase him down from behind with Matt Garvis, and had to pull him down, not before he gets about 4 or 5 and close to the first down to the 48-yard line.
One of the risks you run when you blitz your linebackers is if it's not a pass play, they get hung up in the middle. Now Matt Garvis was able to catch him down and grab an armful of jersey, but once you get inside there, as you see the replay, right there, they're caught inside, and Matt's able to chase him down. But from a traditional standpoint, Matt would be going down the line of scrimmage to make that tackle.
3rd down and a yard upcoming now for Aurora. Well, a team that has been known in the past for run. Whoops, whoops. Oh, she's going to be close. I don't believe he's going to get it.
It is going to be close. Brian Andrews, number 95 for the Drake Bulldogs, made an outstanding play there. Just when he looked like that was going to open up, it will be 4th down. He closed the hole.
4th down upcoming. Let's see the replay. Wow.
Watch Brian Andrews right there. Look at the arm strength and leg strength driving him back, not giving him that opportunity for a 1st down.
And look at the rest of the Bulldogs coming up. And Aurora's going to go with it on 4th down and about a foot here at their own 49-yard line. Everybody digging in. Pro set. Aurora bringing the linebackers. No!
Oh, he didn't get it.
Unless he could stretch it across. No, and the Aurora team's going to have to give it up, and the Bulldogs hold on a 4th down and about a yard.
He may have lost a half a yard. Great play by the defensive line of the Drake Bulldogs. Watch this. Ran the option right here. He hopes to pull it out and go up the line of scrimmage, and right there you can see the Bulldogs, number 82, J.C. Smirka, and the interior of the Bulldogs. There's number 36, Eric Musha, just talking it over. Good play by the Drake defense.
Great job of the Bulldogs indeed. 1st and 10, they take it over here. Stop that drive with 7:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. Now let's see what the Bulldogs do with it. Look at them respecting the outside, the split ends of the Bulldogs. Man, halfbacks way back. Hand off left side. Big hole indeed by Rico Chapman, and he just picks his way up to about the down to the 43-yard line.
Watch this Drake offense now. The linebackers for Aurora are starting to crowd the line of scrimmage on this defense. Watch for Drake to go to the 5 to 7 yard pass here. It's a big opportunity the coach's staff will pick up from the press box.
2nd down and 5 upcoming. Yeah, there's a big gap between the linebackers and the defensive halfbacks in there. Probably 10, 15 yards. Audible's off. Back to pass. Has time going to the far side. Intercepted. And there's the danger of it. This one's going to be returned here. 20, 15, 10. Wolford can't run him down. He jumps on in to the end zone. And that's the danger you run by running that sideline to the far side. And I bet you one thing, Ben Wolford wished he had that pass back.
Well, right there's a good example. Drake tried to throw, Ben threw from this sideline, from this side of the field, across the field. Brandon Koff played it perfectly. We talked earlier about Brandon. He's been very active today. Now watch this. He's on this hash mark. Ben throws all the way across the field. A tough pattern to throw, but also gives that defensive back all the opportunity in the world to play and pick off the play. And just a great play. And Brandon says, I'm diving in for a touchdown.
Oh, man. 17-6, extra point upcoming here for Aurora. And the placement, the kick up, and it is good. So make it 17-7. And I'll tell you what, this second half's been different here for Aurora. This is a fired-up team. Let's see the replay on this again.
Again, watch this. They're on this hash mark, and Ben tries to throw it all the way across the field. A tough pass to make there in his zone defense, and there he goes. Look at him. He's got his head back, and this guy's not going to be caught right at the end. Ben tries to make an opportunity for the catch, but this guy dove into the end zone.
Well, now they're going to question this Bulldog team. 17-7 with 6:29 to go on the third.
What do you do, Mick, if you're the coaching staff? Drake had a great first half, not the intensity this second half, and now you've given those Spartans a little opportunity here. You've opened the door a little bit for them. Let's see what happens.
What is that, 3 interceptions today?
3 interceptions, and that's the first point scored against the Drake Bulldogs.
That's right, second
this
half.
year, really for 5 games. And I don't know if they count that against the defense. The defense will not like that. I'll tell you that right now if it is counted against them.
Yeah, good point. Getting ready to kick it off here is Aurora, but now we got a ball game, 17-7 Drake.
What you've got now is you're really going to start to test the mettle of the Bulldogs. They need to get the momentum back. What the offense needs to do is go downfield, score here. This is a game that can be very tight for the Bulldogs, or they can take control again and put this one away.
Cortez Hall, Robert Berkeley back for Drake. Well, you got to believe that defense. They can keep them out there for a long drive. They're going to wear them back down. Now I'm going to just little dub it up here. And the Bulldogs will take it at the 33-yard line. Bulldogs just kind of jump on it there with Brendan Daly. So the offensive unit out of the field. What do you think Rob Ash had to say with Ben Wolford?
Well, I think when you're working with a young quarterback like this, you say you made a wrong decision there. That's okay. Let's go back out. Let's do things right. Let's go back to what was successful in the first half. Rob Ash has a background of creating very positive environment for young quarterbacks, and I think that'll be the case here.
So on first down and 10 from their own 33. I think they'll go back to the ground game again, see if they can establish that. Handoff up the middle to Rico. Not much there, maybe a yard.
Kevin Watson, the middle linebacker, played that perfectly. His read is right through to that running back, and when he saw that running back take the one step for the draw play, he slid over, made the tackle.
So that'll bring up second down and 9 after a gain of a yard.
Knowing Rob, we will probably see throwing in this series just to bring the confidence level back of the young quarterback.
Man split right and left, back split of the backfield as Ben brings him up. Wolford. 7 on the play clock. 3 seconds, gets it off in time. Screen play, in trouble. And going to get brought down for about a 7, 8 yard loss.
Had the screen play established, but was just not able to throw the ball over the long arms of the defensive lineman of Aurora. Brings up a long third down. It'll be interesting to see the play call here. Watch the replay. Screen play, I believe, was trying to be run to this side of that. Yeah, right here you can see the running back, number 22, Rico Chapman, down here sliding out.
In the Big Ten, Michigan State is leading over Purdue 14-7 in the first quarter.
So that'll bring up a third down and long. Third and about 18. And Ben Wolford and company on third down. Boy, they got everybody playing up tight of the line now. On third down, back to pass, bringing the line, throwing Cora out. Man, that one was, he wasn't going to get that one intercepted. He was going to let Chad Hain kind of run under it.
Yeah, he really was. He floated that ball. You know, Aurora's had a lot of pressure on him in the second half. Not that they've had any sacks, but they've just been able to get their arms up and be right in his face as he's starting to throw the ball.
So a fourth down and punting situation, and Brian Peck will come on. Koff will be back deep, the man that intercepted the last one, and return it for the lone touchdown for Aurora.
This guy does not take fair catches. Let's see what happens here. He loves to run the ball back.
Aurora showing they're going to go for it on the block. Nope, going to set up the return. Driving punt. Koff from his own 35 to the 40. 45-50, gets hit down to the 45-yard line. Not a bad return.
Nice return. In fact, a net punt for the Bulldogs of about 18 yards. This Brandon Koff is a tough kid. He really does a nice job.
Indeed he does, and the Aurora offensive unit comes back out of the field, and Mark Hancock's going to be the man still at the QB slot.
Drake defensive shut him down again at the start of the second half. Let's see what happens here. It's a critical series for Bulldogs.
Handoff up the middle. Nope, nothing there. Good job of the Bulldog defensive unit. Was that Brian Peck in there? Nope, I don't believe so. I think that was, who else was in there?
That was Anthony Fuller, I believe, the senior linebacker, number 89 for the Bulldogs.
Coming in there to make the stop. Second down and 10. No gain on the play. 4:18 to go, third quarter. Drake leading 17-7.
A quick game, Mick. This game is really moving along quite quickly.
Indeed it is. Both teams using the run. Aurora known in the past for the run, but this year they've kind of gone to the air. Option left, quarterback, pitch out. In trouble, no gain. Nice play, and they really strung it out well that time by Drake. And finally, Darren Bush coming on to make the stop.
You know, Mick, we talked about this earlier, but the option is that from a defensive standpoint, you almost have assignments of people. Somebody has a fullback, somebody has a quarterback. The tough person to defend against is that outside pitchback. Now watch Darren Bush at the top of your screen. Quarterback has it. Look at him fight off the blocker. Continues to fight, and then makes the tackle. Outstanding play.
3rd down and 10 is what Aurora is going to be looking at the Drake Bulldog 44-yard line in a possible passing situation. See if they go to Koff. Back to pass, rolls right, has some blockers, now runs with the football. Lowers his head.
Oh, hello.
Oh, my. Well, he's going to have to pay for those 4 yards.
Anthony Fuller, what a hit. You know, as a linebacker, you always wait for the opportunity when one of your teammates has a quarterback stood up. Anthony Fuller got that opportunity. Here we go. Very simply a pass play. He's rolling out. It's left-handed, remember. Okay, here we go. Right there. Boom. I said, hello, I am the linebacker.
4th down and about 6. I don't think Drake thinks you're going to go for it.
They continue to have their
B.J.
first-string
Hellier
defense.
back there. Yeah, they got everybody else still in there. B.J. Hellier is going to be back to return, standing at his own 10-yard line. Yep. Here comes the punt. High. B.J. fair catch. And he'll drop down on it about the 15, 16-yard line. That's where the Drake offense will start with 2:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. So now it's time to rebuild the confidence, I think, of Ben Wolford after the 3 interceptions we saw the last trip down. Rob, he was a little cautious about throwing anywhere near a white jersey.
I think you're right, Mick, and I think what you're going to see is trying to establish this running game again, and also then, if he does do any passing, make it very short.
Yeah, I was going to say, give him a quick one. Quick count. Hand off left side. At Charlie Schimberg to the 20, 21-yard line, a gain of 5.
Now, we haven't called Charlie's name this whole second half. I mean, Charlie's the kind of guy that can get you the 4 yards, get you an opportunity to get the first downs, and I think that's appropriate for Drake at this time.
Yep, 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Boy, you mentioned a quick game here today. In this one here, as the Drake Bulldogs look at a 2nd and 6 situation now. They even call it 2nd and 5. Got man coverage out there. Hand off right side this time. Not much there. We're doing a nice job on the line now.
You bet they are.
Hey, good crowd. Biggest crowd of the year. Almost 6,000 people on hand today.
It really is great. Drake's really started to develop a good following for their, from their fan standpoint. They had a beautiful weather today, a good Parents' Day turnout. 6,000 people in the stands is great for Drake University.
3rd down upcoming for Drake. 3rd and 4 with a minute 24 left with the wind here. See what Rob Ash wants to use or not. Of course, wind kind of dying down here. I don't think it's much of a factor anyway. Played a little bit in the punt. Back to pass. Bringing the linebackers.
Blitz.
Got away from one.
Throw
Still
it.
scrambling and holding on to the football anyway. Going to get a couple of yards. He was trying to get to the first down, Rob, and almost made it as he gets up to the 25-yard line.
Almost did, Mick. I think he's about a yard short. A good run. Let's watch Ben. Good protection to start with right there. You can see the blitzing linebacker. He's outside now. He says, here I go, right there. Good run by him, good effort, although short of the first down.
And that'll bring up a punting, and Brian Peck will come up about a yard short. But a good effort by Ben Wolford as he had to try and escape the blitzing linebackers that time.
Well, the good thing that happened right there is nothing bad happened. That's one of those plays that's weird things can happen on. A quarterback can be injured. You can fumble the ball, all kinds of crazy things.
17-7, Drake leading here over Aurora. Peck will be doing it at his own throw of 13-yard line. Koff back deep, coming for it, end over end. Fair catch called for. He'll do it at the 43. That's unusual.
Hey, we finally got a fair catch out of Brandon Koff.
So Aurora's offensive unit will trot out of the field with 56 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. This game isn't over.
It is not over from a long shot. The Drake defense, though, considering what they've done in the second half, has still continued to play very well.
Which they have all year long.
And remember, Mick, the defensive line for Drake is almost a brand new defensive line. They had 3 seniors last year who had dominated for years. These are young people who are just now understanding big-time football.
Aurora 1st and 10 at their own 44. Put a man in motion to the far side. Yep, here's the option again. Quarterback turns it up. He'll get a couple across the 45 to the 47.
Aurora's really changed their whole philosophy in this second half. They're running that option. They're being more consistent in their blocking. And as we saw to start the first half, things got a little bit out of control for them.
2nd down and 7. Well, I tell you what, we were expected to see 2 quarterbacks, but we're not going to see it, are we? I don't think Wolf's quick enough with this Drake team.
No, I agree.
Flip-flop ends. Now they flip-flop the backfield. 6 seconds on the play clock. Handoff up the middle. Nope. Quick pass play. And that'll be going to be interference.
You bet.
Yeah. Good call by the official. It's incomplete, but it's going to be interference on Drake.
I believe it was Darren Bush who had the tight end on that drag pattern across the middle. He was on the receiver too early. The ball had not arrived yet, and he was starting to tackle the wide receiver. So watch the replay, and you can see the tight end drag across the middle right there. We're on him too early. You have to be able to give that wide receiver the opportunity to fairly catch the ball.
Indeed you do, and good play action, too, by Aurora.
Yes, it was a good play.
So the yardage is marked off, and instead of an incomplete pass, they will move it across the 50 down to the 47, and that'll be a 1st down for the Spartans.
I'm not sure I understand how they spotted that ball, Mick, but a pass interference is traditionally 10 yards, and it looked like it was about an 8-yard mark-off.
1st and 10. Aurora's gone back to the option offense here. This time quick pass play, near side. Got the man, gets to the 45, down to the 42-yard line. Give him a gain of 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
First time we've called Tom Becker's number as a Drake cornerback. That time with just a quick out pattern. Tom came up, broke down, made the tackle, a 4-yard gain.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs on top, 17-7 here as we head to the 4th quarter. But I'll tell you what, Aurora somewhat owned that 3rd quarter.
You know, they really did. I'm surprised they only had 7 points. It looked like from a time of possession and offensive standpoint they could generate more scoring. The Drake defense, though, has still not given up a point in the second half, although the offense had an interception returned. Aurora, though, is chipping away. The whole 3rd quarter was played in the Drake part of the field. Drake could never get any field position and get it downfield.
Yeah, one thing about Aurora, they don't get real trying to pick off 20 and 25 yards. They like the 3-5 yards at a time, and that's what they're trying to do.
Remember, you've got 15 minutes to play. It's 17-7. A lot of time left, even for an offense like this that's trying to do the small things instead of the one big game.
And the one thing they're trying to do is keep that offensive unit off the field of Drake.
You bet.
17-7 Drake, 15 minutes, 4th quarter getting ready to go underway. Fast game here this afternoon. Backs play to the backfield. Man twins onto the left side, down to the bottom side. Now man goes in motion. Mark Hancock. Blitz coming. He got him. Good call by the Drake coaching staff. That even stops that option play before it gets underway.
Yeah, it's very disruptive for an option play when you start to pull the ball out from the dive back, and all of a sudden there are 3 Drake players standing there.
3rd down and 6.
Once again, 2nd quarter, Army 3, Washington 0. We have a score from South Bend. A final, Notre Dame 55, Texas 27. Once again, a final.
See if they bring the linebackers from the outside. They're bringing them. Penalty flags down, in trouble, throw it out. Got a man, 40, 35, 30, down to the 25, down to the 21. Penalty flags out of the field, however. And we will wait. It is complete to Fonzie Medina. You bring those outside linebackers, somebody's going to be open, Rob.
That was the right read by that quarterback. He was able to determine that it was a blitz. He had his wide receiver flaring out and was able to make a nice pickup. However, you have illegal procedure against the Spartans and brings it back.
Number 21 apparently in motion, Andy Silvestri.
Boy, that's a big break for the Bulldogs. They had the ball to the 21-yard line. Now they're all the way back to the 47.
So now the yardage be marked off. Let's see that.
You have your outside linebacker blitz, and you see him at the bottom of the page. When he comes, that back sneaks out of the backfield, able to pick up a real nice play.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation for Aurora. See what they go with here. 3rd down. Quick pass going down the sideline. It is incomplete.
Whoa, nice
incomplete.
play.
Just kind of hung it up there and said, let the best man have it.
Well, you can see that Andy Silvestre is their favorite receiver. That time, Kerman Mason had coverage. Just throw the ball up, let someone win the battle. That time, Kerman was able to knock the ball away. When you watch this replay, watch how the ball is lofted up in the air so the wide receiver can run under it. They're both pushing and shoving. A good call by the officials for no flag.
Indeed it is. Ryan Wrigley from his own 35.
The Drake defense, again, does a good job.
B.J. Hellier to return, 13:55 to go. Drake leading 17-7. Low snap from center, picks it up. High punt. They're going to let it bounce. Goes out of bounds at about the 22, and that's where the Drake offense will work with here with the next possession.
Well, it's an opportunity now for the offense to get the defense off the field. Need a little bit of offense, need a few first downs, need to take some time off the clock for the Bulldogs so we can go ahead and wrap this game up.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. Out of the field, and let's see what they go with. Got Pete Lobi back out of the Bulldog lineup. Look for a run maybe. Cortez Hall out of the eye. First and 10. Nope, back to pass. Got looking for Hoskins. Little curl. Man, he knew exactly where to put that one too, didn't he?
He really did. Rich Hoskins had to jump in the air to make the reception. You could see him curling in, play action pass, and Rich Hoskins, the senior, was able to make the reception. Now watch the play action as we go through the replay. We catch the end of it here, threw it high, needed to throw it high because the linebacker was in front. What a confidence builder for Ben Wolford.
1st and 10. Last time, Cortez. Yep, nowhere to go. So the Bulldogs will be looking at a 2nd down and 10 situation.
Jeff Rupert on the tackle. And what Aurora's done this second half is started to get some penetration. In the first half, there was no penetration, and those kind of plays, the Drake running backs were able to pick their way through and gain big yardage.
13:05 to play, 4th quarter, Rob, and you're looking at a 2nd down situation. Hoskins been, now they're going to bring out, still got, man, I'll tell you, I think Hoskins, I think you go. He can beat him at one-on-one. On count of the line of scrimmage. Aurora, handoff near side. Ooh, broke a tackle, a couple, but boy, I'll tell you what, the yardage is coming tough.
Well, Charlie Schimberg that time made every yard on his own. He was able to pick up 3 yards, and they were tough yards.
Possession time getting a little closer here.
Total yards, too. Drake is at 237. Aurora is at
158.
158.
3rd down and 6. Twins to the far side. Single split man to the near side. On 3rd down. Bringing the linebackers. Pick them up. Going down the middle. Got his man. Yep, Chad Hang. Goodbye. They gambled and they lost. And that'll be a confidence builder for Ben Wolford.
Just what they needed. Almost a 60-yard play. Chad Hay across the middle, and Ben Wolford was able to lay it right out for the completion and the touchdown for the Bulldogs. Outstanding play. Good call by the coaches, too. Let's watch the replay. Ben goes through, straight drop back, blitzes on, lays it out towards the middle of the field. He's got his defensive player beaten, and it's a touchdown for the Drake Bulldogs.
Tell you what, if Aurora has been gambling, they've won, and this time they're going to lose if you're going to play the ends of Drake on one-on-one.
Yeah, you've got to. In fact, when you blitz against Drake, all sorts of bad things can happen if you do not sack that quarterback.
And there's the extra point. No, going to go off to the far side.
1 minute 51 seconds.
So make it a 23-7 score, but that's a little more comfortable, Rob Hill.
It very much is. In fact, it's a confidence builder for the offense. Let's watch this play one more time. Look at the blitz. It opens up the middle. The strong safety's been taken out of the play because he's got to cover a wide receiver, and all of a sudden it opens up, and Chad Hain, who has very good speed, was able to run right on past the defensive back.
So it didn't take long for the Bulldogs with 11:57 to go here in the fourth quarter, 23-7. And the biggest thing is that confidence in Ben Wolford. I'll tell you what, after 3 interceptions, you could tell it that he wasn't throwing it quite as crisp as he was earlier.
Well, the expectation from Coach Rob Ash is that as a quarterback will always have the confidence to make those kind of pass plays. I think the unique thing we've got now is that Aurora had the momentum. What does this do to Aurora? They've really came out focused in the second half. Let's see if they can continue that, or is this really is what takes care of it.
7 now on the year in extra point.
So Michael McKee getting ready to kick it off here.
Having missed his first extra point.
Right.
Now 6 of 7 on the season. Extra point kicks.
Ryan Walsh will be back at his own 10-yard line. Not much of a win to kick into. Good deep kick. Walsh back to his own 8.
Nice kick.
10 to the 15 to the 20, and he gets up about the 25, 26-yard line.
Very nice coverage. The Bulldogs had a lot of people down there able to make the coverage, able to make this thing happen. They were really led by number 35, Pete Lobe. Got that offensive back on kickoff teams.
So the Aurora Spartans come out of the field, 1st and 10. I'll tell you what, now I don't think you can sit around and get your 3-4 yards a play. Now you got to do something.
3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Still got in Mark Hancock, the
119 for 193 yards.
option quarterback, and that doesn't go for much. Ooh, Drake stacking him up at the line of scrimmage.
You got to credit the tackle that time to the entire interior of the Drake Bulldogs. You got Matt Garvis on the middle. You've got J.C. Smirka, Eric Musha, Brian Peck, Brian Andrews, all of them in there on that tackle.
Not even going to give him any gain. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. I'll tell you, if you're trailing 23-7 and with 11:25, you can't run it up tackle to tackle, Rob.
You've got to start putting the ball in the air. I think they will, too. They've had some success running the short patterns underneath. First half, they ran some deep patterns. Let's see what happens.
Well, their favorite receiver is Silvestri, and he's on the near side. Back to pass, looks for him again, got the pump and go. This one might be intercepted. It is.
Oh, nice
Good job.
play.
Good job of the Bulldogs. Got
Nice
back there
play.
well. And I said, boy, B.J. Hellier was just reading it well. Good defense as well by Kerman Mason, had him all the way. They thought he would suck up, and he didn't do it.
Hey, Kerman Mason made the play there. A give and go by the wide receiver. He didn't bite on it. B.J. Hellier from Creston, Iowa, the strong safety. You notice how he turned around. He couldn't find the ball, and he was able to turn around. Watch this. There's the fake. Now watch the defense. B.J., he can't see it right now. Turns around, the ball's right there. Good play. And then he gets tackled by his own man. Kerman Mason with the tackle for the Bulldogs.
1st and 10, Bulldogs back out of the field, leading 23-7 with 11 minutes to go, and that might do her. Straight dive play up the middle. Not much running room there, and he gets up to the 35-yard line. Give him a couple of yards. Going to bring up 2nd down.
Jason Grove with the carry, the freshman from Adel.
Boy, we've heard great things, haven't we, about him?
6'1", 195. The Bulldog staff is very confident he's going to be the back of the future for the Bulldogs.
He's been injured. What, do you get a couple of carries in the first half? Going to see him here, though. 2nd down, 2nd and 7. Give him a gain of 3.
From Raleigh, North Carolina. It's a final. Baylor 14, North Carolina 0. Once again.
From the 35-yard line.
Baylor 14, North Carolina State.
And off Grove, left side, lowers his head, couple more yards, and gets up across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down.
Drake's going to try to just dominate the line of scrimmage, run some of this time off the clock. Every time they're able to run the ball for a 1st down, it extends this game, it shortens the game, so that it becomes just that much more in favor of the Bulldogs.
Charlie Schimberg back out of the lineup, and also coming back in is going to be Hoskins as well. Hoskins go out to the far side, Berkeley to the near side. On 3rd down, Charlie goes off tackle. Ooh, not going to get that 1st down. That might bring on the punt team.
I think it will, Mick. We're about a yard short. defensive players of the Spartans made a nice play there to control that line of scrimmage, and even though he got 3, he couldn't pick up that 4th and final yard.
So a 4th down and about a foot will be on Brian Peck, the senior punter for Drake. Koff will be back deep for Aurora. 9:14 to play. Drake leading 23-7, but they're going to have to give up the football. I think Aurora will probably go for the block. They're coming. They're coming, and they didn't get there. Bounces. Drake will drop it down at the 35-yard line. That's where Aurora will start this series with the football. Well, Rob, I'll tell you what. They were going to go long, and they just can't do it against Drake. The short passes, maybe, but not long ones. Now they're behind.
No, you really can't, Mick, and those are 2 key plays that the Bulldogs have made. They've got to throw the ball, but they can't go deep. They've got to throw the 10, the 15-yard pass, and that's where they've had success today, and they've got to keep that thought process going.
So Aurora breaks the huddle on a 1st down and 10. Mark Hancock bringing him up. Back to pass. Quick sets. Incomplete. He's quick, just taking a couple of steps back. Didn't have time to go back into the pocket. I think it's really kind of throwing him off.
Well, you have different types of drops you teach your quarterbacks. You have a 3-yard, you have a 5-yard, and you have a 7-yard.
Here comes the other quarterback. Brody Wolf coming on.
Brody, from visiting with the coaches, Brody is more of the throwing quarterback, although Mark Hancock had been the quarterback for the whole game except for 1 series.
So let's see if they put it in the air. He sets up. Ball knocked up in the air and knocked down. Great job by Drake. Who's that, Smirka?
Yeah, 82. J.C. Smirka. 6'6", 237, so he's got a wingspan of about 8 feet when he jumps up in the ground, jumps up with both arms in the air, able to knock the ball down. Welcome to the new quarterback. Watch this. Big paw comes up in the air right there. Left hand says, "Not today, big guy."
3rd down and 10 upcoming for Aurora. Going to leave in Brody Wolf in there at the quarterback. Backs split, back to pass, bringing the linebackers. Quick pass, and Garvis almost with the interception. And the punting team will come on. Garvis almost had the big interception.
Well, they had the guy open across the middle. Garvis was going one way, able to stick the hand out and knock the ball down. That's the 2nd time we've seen Matt do that today. Good protection. The blitz is on. Trying to throw it across the middle. Matt Garvis with the left hand.
Was getting some heat from Brian Andrews, number 95, coming in there from his defensive end spot. And now the punt coming up. Rico Chapman on the return from his own 30. Oh! High punt. Fair catch called for.
Oh.
I think his own man kind of ran into him. I'm not so sure Michael McKee didn't hit his hand, and Drake will take this one from their own 33-yard line. So now it's time to run some clock off, Rob.
You bet. Isn't it great? Michael McKee. He's your place kicker, and he's also on special teams. You just don't see that today in college football at all.
1st and 10, Drake. Here comes Ben Wolford. Drake leading 23-7. They dominated the 1st half, but didn't do it in the 3rd quarter, but pretty well have come back to play in the 4th quarter. From their own 34, and now the official timeout, and it'll be Aurora taking a timeout. What do you suppose that's about?
I don't think they had enough men on the field.
They didn't. 10 guys.
They had only maybe 9 guys.
Now they got 2 more guys coming on. That'll give them 12. One extreme to the other.
It's a little tough.
So anyway, the Bulldogs will take an opportunity to get a drink of water. It really means nothing other than both coaches just taking an opportunity to talk. There you see the crowd, Rob. Good crowd on hand.
It's really great to see. Drake's really developed some good supporters. This is a great team to watch play. They're fun. Rob Ash plays a fun kind of football. You're going to see the ball thrown. You're going to see a lot of scoring. And right now, the Drake defense is just really fun to watch play because they have been dominating all year. No points scored in the 2nd half. Today, they've got a shutout except for the pass interception.
23-7, missed extra point, the reason for the score. 8:36 to play in this game, and a quick game here this afternoon. And boy, not going to see many of those. Troy Fletcher not playing today, of course, because of injuries.
Had a concussion in last week's game, and he's on the sideline in street clothes.
Pete Lowe by, along with Groves into the backfield for Drake. Audible's off the line of scrimmage. Gonna go to Groves, turns it up. Couple of yards, that's it. Up across the 35 to the 36, 2nd and 8 upcoming.
Made the right decision on that, tried to get up, back up field. John Novak, the defensive end for the Spartans, on the tackle.
So Charlie Schimberg back out of the field. Also, let's see, Daly's coming back in as well for Drake. I think Rob wanted to make a couple of running plays here and try and run this clock. Back to pass.
Yeah, there's a running play.
There's him. Gonna run with it. Not gonna get much.
Stay in
Well,
bounds.
I tell you what, he doesn't like to go down, does he?
No, he's not going to just dive out of bounds. Took the hit in the helmet.
Had Daly open for a minute, I think probably good enough for the first down, but he was getting too much pressure and couldn't get it off.
Just about the time you think Drake's going to run the ball, Rob Ash gets a little itchy and wants to put it up again.
7:48 clock stop momentarily as after he ran out of bounds. They take a look on the near side and see what play's coming in. Hoskins will bring it in along with Chad Haig. And Westberg, who's got a touchdown to his credit here today. 23-7 Drake. Aurora showing blitz. They don't bring him. Back to pass down the middle. Got a man. Hey, over to Hang, the young freshman. Man, he really is doing a nice job.
You know, he really is. He reminds me a lot of Chad Briley about 3 years ago with his speed across the middle like that. That's a tough play to run. Drake had all sorts of people crossing in the middle, able to get the ball in a first down. Drake continues to control the ball.
1st and 10, Drake. 7:40 remaining. The Bulldogs up to midfield to the 49-yard line. Out of the I formation. Being handoff, second man, Grove. Boy, not much there, is there?
Not much at all. They've really done a good job this second half controlling the inside of the line of scrimmage. Not much running for the Bulldogs.
I think Drake would like to put one more up here, just in comfort zone.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch this series of plays because Ben Wolford is really trying to use the 25-second clock. Most plays that are snapped at either 1 or 2 seconds, trying to get that clock wound down in a victory for the Drake Bulldogs.
Good point. Second down, call it a gain of a yard on that last play to bring up 2nd and 9. Wolford on second down. Let's see if they go off tackle. Nope, back to pass. Now he starts to scramble.
There he is,
going
right
long,
there.
Going to
Oh, great
yes,
catch.
inside of the 5, Berkeley. Oh man, Robert Berkeley. And you got to remember, it was when Ben Wolford was scrambling back there too.
Well, the pass was on the other side. Robert Berkeley was actually looking over his inside shoulder, made the adjustment, turns around, fights off the defensive player in the catch. Watch Ben Wolford. He gets all sorts of pressure. He gets back, play action, sets up, steps up in the pocket, throws from the run. Now watch the adjustment right here. He was actually turned to the inside, turns back to the outside. Robert Berkeley, the sophomore, for the nice reception.
On 1st and goal, Charlie Schimberg, touchdown, Drake Bulldogs. With 6:37 to go in the ball game, the Bulldogs take it in for the TD.
Drake has done a very fine job of utilizing both the long pass and the short pass. The setup play by Robert Berkeley, the 40-yard completion with a great catch by him, and then Charlie Schimberg can take it right on into the end zone. And I think that wraps it up for the Drake Bulldogs for this day.
Well, let's see here. Michael McKee coming on. Makes it 29-7. An extra point upcoming. This one right up between the goalposts makes it 30-7 Drake, and that will give a little confidence to the quarterback, and they'll warm up.
You know, Mick, it's interesting to see with Drake leading 30-7 that the Drake coaching staff does not really worry about confidence or anything like that with their quarterback. Had 3 interceptions early in the game. comes back, makes a throw like that, when in fact everyone in the stands thought it would be a running play. It's good to see. It's kind of football you like to see from the development stages of a Drake football program.
Well, they're warming up Brian Ginner on the near side, the backup quarterback now with, of course, with Roy out, Fletcher out. 30-7, Drake in control of this one with 6:37, and that gives a little breathing room.
It really does.
Total offense comparison. Drake has 387 yards in offense. Aurora has 159.
387 and 150 total offensive yards here this afternoon, and that shows you what the dominance has been. And it's good to see, really the Drake defense has been playing well all year, but today, Drake offense come to life.
It's fun when you get to that 400 level. That's kind of the magic coaches talk about. If you generate 400 yards in total offense, if you're anybody other than a Nebraska, it's a big day.
Kick going to be fielded at about the 27 and 30, 35.
Ball, fumble.
Drake's got it. Drake's got it, the 37-yard line. I didn't see it pop out, Rob.
Yeah, it came right out when he bounced. Ryan Kennedy was the carrier for the Spartans. The ball came right out. I didn't see who made the recovery for the Bulldogs.
Craig McLean.
But it popped right out as he spun, as trying to run the ball back. And you can see the Bulldogs there. They're rather excited about that.
Of course, you can't dance out there on the field now.
Brian Kennedy is a defensive back. Watch, the ball pops out right there. He lands on it, covers it with his legs.
McLean, you had to come all the way to the near side to do the little dance. We're going to have a different quarterback. Brian Ginner is going to be in there. On 1st and 10, he'll hand off to Grove. Big hole.
There he goes.
Down to the 35, down to the 31-yard line. Give him a gain of 7.
Yeah, Brian was not very happy. He got tripped up. Thought he should have continued that run. I think that was touchdown if he would have been able to keep his balance.
Well, it was pretty good size hole. Give some credit up there to that offensive line on the right side.
Mick, you get the feeling Drake is starting to wear down the Aurora Spartans.
And they'll do that. On 2nd down and 4. I think they want to see Grove handle that ball a little bit, see what he can do. They give it to him again. Same play. That time again, big hole, and it gets down inside the 25. 1st and 10 down to the 22-yard line. Boy, he does. He's pretty quick.
You bet he is. Drake has got a whole new offensive line in. They're too deep. They're on their offensive line, their second-team offensive line. Now you got a bunch of young kids who want to make their mark against a fairly tired Aurora defense, so it's always tough from a defensive standpoint when you get into these positions. Watch the replay. You can see Jason Grove with the hole on the right side.
Well, see it here in a second. Here we're back to regulation play here. 1st and 10. On count of the line of scrimmage. Handoff Grove, left side. They're bringing the linebackers that time. They're going to catch him in the backfield. Couldn't quite get him up there to get the hole. Good defensive play by Aurora.
Yeah, Jason Stransky, the inside linebacker, who is a second string behind Jeremy Warso, made a nice play right there, was able to come inside on a blitz and make the tackle.
Still just over 5 minutes to play in this football game, and Drake well in control, 30-7 over Aurora. Back to pass. Quick out pattern, near side to Burton.
Oh, hello.
And he gets nailed.
Brandon Kopf. We've talked about Brandon is now my favorite player on the Aurora team. He
is a good player.
He really is. 5'5", 140 pounds. He just put the wood to our wide receiver that time.
Let's see the replay, Rob.
Watch this, a simple out pattern. He's playing well off. He's in zone coverage. Nice catch over here. Right there. Hello. Ooh. That was Robert Berkeley.
3rd down and 3 for the Drake Bulldogs, and handoff to the right side. Big hole, 1st down, got it inside the 10, and Pete Lobi brings her down for the 1st down. Boy, he's got some quickness as well.
He really does, Mick. You saw it that time. He really got through that hole for the Bulldogs, picked up a nice gain in the 1st down.
So with 4:50 to go here in the 4th quarter, the Drake second team, or whatever you want to call it, some of the reserves in there, and they get it down inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line of Aurora. See if they go to Lobi. Lone back.
teams today have
Yep,
done an
good point.
outstanding job. They continue to control that. If you can, today's college environment with the ball being
like a child in a fairy tale, fairy tale, fairy tale. Tears on your
Option. He's in trouble. Thought about pitching it. I don't think he wanted to do that, and he's going to pick up about 4 or 5, though.
got a lot of the Drake reserves in there, specifically from a kicking standpoint. Michael McKee playing cornerback for the Bulldogs, and again, he's on some of the special teams. That's very unusual to see a kicker who is also actively a real football player.
Second down. And about 5. Clock ticking away down to 2:40. 2:40 to go in the ball game with Drake leading 37-7. Quick pass. Nope. Now pumps. Now looking. Now in trouble. Throws it downfield, trying to keep the. I don't think anybody was there, but a Drake player was there.
Drake could have got the interception. There wasn't a Aurora player within 10 yards.
So the incomplete pass is going to bring up a third down.
Still haven't seen Aurora try to throw a lot of passes of the 10 to 15 yard variety so they could control the ball with the passing offense. They seem to be almost in between. They go deep, they run the ball, and it's been a difficult day for the Spartans.
2:23 remaining. Hancock and company get a good shot at him at the line of scrimmage. Drake with some reserves, handoff up the middle on the draw play, and he's not going to get that first down. He'll get to the 35, and it closes quickly after a 3-yard gain. They got some people in there as well, and they're in a backup role, and they're playing right now for them as well. Ron Henderson.
Jim Scarless on the tackle for the Bulldogs, 6'1", 274-pound sophomore, along with Scott Pierce, Brad Foltz, and Mark Goldsberry, the reserve defensive lineman for the Bulldogs.
And Ryan Wrigley will pen it away here for Aurora. Rico Chapman back for the Bulldogs at his own 32. Ooh, kind of a punt off the side of the foot. And that one will bounce it around the 40-yard line. That's where Drake will start with a minute 30 and just run the clock out, I got to believe.
You bet. Things are short and sweet for the Bulldogs right now.
So let's see. As the Bulldogs bring on Brian Ginter into the back end there at quarterback. Good game for Drake today. Good confidence builder for a lot of them. Got nobody injured. Got some people rested.
I think that's important too. I think Rob Esch would tell you it was important for them to get through the game and not have any injuries, which is something that's harassed the Bulldogs here in the last few games.
Minute 30 remaining. Handoff right side. Got Grove. Ooh, he dives over across that 45 down to the 46-yard line. And the clock's just going to tick its way down. Minute 22 left to go. Drake leading 37-7. Looking at a 2nd down and 3 situation. Up to the line of scrimmage. Down to the 1-minute marker. I think they'll probably just continue to use every second of that play clock. This time, handoff left side. Bulldogs to John Becker. And that's going to be close to the first down, so that'll bring up, are they going to bring in the yard markers or not? Right at about midfield. Going to call it first down. No yard markers. 47 seconds is all that remains. And Drake can just kneel it down a couple of times and nothing else and run this clock out, because I don't think Aurora's going to call a timeout with Drake leading 37-7. On first down, long count, handoff up the middle. Grove gets the call. He gets himself 3 or 4 more yards and another running experience. 26 seconds, and now Drake really wouldn't even have to run another play, and that brings up a 2nd down situation, and they can just let the clock run out if they wish with 18 seconds remaining. to go in this ball game. Well, the Drake Bulldogs certainly have been impressive here in the first half and fourth quarter. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, and the Drake Bulldogs will improve their record to a 2-1-1 with a 37-7 victory here this afternoon over the Aurora Spartans in a team that didn't really look too good, Aurora that is, in the first half, but really came back out the second half to play. But a good performance by the Drake Bulldogs here this afternoon. For the most part, pretty much dominated things and took care of business here in the fourth quarter when everything was on the line. A lot of good passing. It was interesting to see Ben Wolford, the quarterback, go in there for Roy Fletcher and see how he could do. And when it all came down after 3 interceptions, his performance, I think, is going to be credited pretty good. Well, also threw 3 touchdown passes as well. And the Drake Bulldogs did a nice job here today to pick up this win. As I mentioned, the Bulldogs will improve their record to a 2-1-1. And for the Aurora Spartans, not a very good start for them, as they have been on a losing streak here, and they will go to the 0-3, and probably not an 0-3 team, but the Aurora Spartans have found some tough times here trying to get things going, and we saw that in the early going as the offense really sputtered for Aurora when the Drake Bulldogs certainly had the offense out of the field a long time. And another great performance. And as Rob Hill mentioned, special teams also a big key for them. I think the special teams really did a nice job, as all the defense and the offense did as well here today. But the Drake Bulldogs now have to head out on the road next week as they head up to Butler. No easy task by any means anytime you head out on the road for the Drake Bulldogs. But a 37-7 win here today for Drake. And certainly a nice win for them. Then up to Butler and then back home with Evansville. And they just continue to seesaw back and forth. They still have home games with Evansville, Northwestern, and of course always tough. And then Dayton coming in here October the 21st. One of the key games for the Drake Bulldogs, a team that they have not been able to win. Again, they have not been able to win, but they'll try and change things here today. You're taking a look at Rob Ash as he meets with the entire team out there at midfield. We'll be talking with the head coach here in just a second as soon as he breaks away from the huddle, with the Drake Bulldogs winning this one 37-7. But it didn't take long for the Bulldogs in that first quarter as they scored with 10:01 to go on a 12-yard pass play to Westberg. Then the Bulldogs were able to put up a couple of more scores with the field goal and another touchdown pass before the half came to a close, 17-0. And if you are keeping track, even though Aurora picked up a touchdown here, that did not come off the defense. That came off an interception of the offense. We'll take a break, and don't forget we got an interview with the head coach coming up. We'll be back right after this. Rob Hill back at Drake Stadium, where the Drake Bulldogs have just completed Aurora here this afternoon by the score of 37-7. And head coach will be making his way over here and talking with Rob Hill here, and we'll get the comments from him. And of course, he's got to be a smiling head coach here this afternoon with this victory here over an Aurora team. I think going in, the coach felt pretty confident going in that they'd pick up a win, but you never know. And the Bulldogs pretty well took care of business throughout the ball game and were able to pick up the win here today. And as I mentioned, improved their record to a 2-1-1. And the Aurora Spartans, not a very good start for them, as they will go down to an 0-3 start and a tough start of the season for the Aurora Spartans here today. But a good win for the Drake Bulldogs, winning it here by the score of 37-7 after leading 17-0 at halftime and taking care of business. The lone touchdown, as I mentioned, being put up there by an interception by the Aurora Spartans here today. And let's go down and see what the head coach has to say. Here's Rob Hill.
We're here with Coach Rob Ash after a nice victory with the Bulldogs. Coach, I know you were concerned to start the game, but a dominating force from an offensive standpoint in the first half.
Well, it was interesting, Rob. Like a lot of times what happens when one of your main guys is out, the rest of the team rallies. And I think that's what you saw at the beginning of the game. You saw the offensive line, the running backs really playing hard because they knew Fletcher wasn't in there. And, you know, Ben I thought did a tremendous job. I was worried about him at the beginning of the game, and he came out through some beautiful passes, and the combination of him being on to start with and then the offensive line really coming out was a great first drive.
Well, we noticed from the press box, we really felt like the offensive line was dominating, not only from a straight standpoint of blocking, but also on your traps and the pulling of the guards. Did an outstanding job.
I was really proud of our offensive line. We have not ever done that to Aurora, over the years. They've really done a great job stopping us, but I think what happened in this game was that their safeties and corners usually really help them with their run defense, and we started out right away at the beginning with the sub quarterback throwing the football, and showing them we weren't afraid to throw it with Ben, and he completed a few passes. That kept their safeties off our back, and I think that helped us run the ball.
Rob, you continue to get a great effort from your defense again today. They really shut out the Aurora offense and consistently controlled the line of scrimmage and controlled the running game. I don't know if there's much you can say, but another nice job by the Bulldogs from a defensive standpoint.
They're really sound, Rob. I think that's how you win, is having a great defense to get you the ball, and you have time to maybe sputter a little bit on offense, and you still aren't behind in a football game because they're doing such a great job. And each week, Coach Neiman gets those guys prepared very well. We had to go against option football for the first time this year. I thought we stopped the option extremely well, and aside from a couple passes that just happened to float in there and be completions, we really shut them down extremely well. So my hat's off to Coach Neiman and the defensive staff and those players, because they really are playing sound football.
Well, now you got a short time to prepare for an All-American running back. You're on your way to Butler. Things change quickly in this league, don't they?
I'll tell you, there's no time to rest and be satisfied with what you're doing, but we're excited and ready to go. This seems like a long stretch. We've had 4 non-conference games. We haven't had a conference game yet. Everybody's gunning for it, and they're talking Butler right now. 2 seconds after the game was over, they're talking about Butler. So I don't think anybody minds that we're ready to start the conference season. I think we're ready. I think we may be. This is early yet. I haven't talked to the trainers, but we may be as healthy going into the Butler game as we've been for any game all season, which comes at a perfect time. So I hope it works out good.
Well, we wish you good luck, and again, congratulations on the victory today. Good luck at Butler, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Mick Trier, back up to you.
Thank you, Rob Hill. Again, the final score, 37-7. The Drake Bulldogs win it here this afternoon over Aurora. Hope you enjoyed it. For Rob Hill, Mick Trier from Drake Stadium, wishing you a good afternoon.